Yo! What is good? Sixer Nation, Philly Take Nation, what is up? Welcome on in to another edition of Sixer Game Day Live. Can you believe it is the last week of the NBA regular season? Where has the time gone? Where have the games gone? They've gone in the win-loss column. And here we are with 4 games left. It all comes down to this week. Matter of fact, we're going to break down how it'll go down, how it could go down, all the possibilities, as the Eastern Conference race is by far the biggest between the 6 seed, the 5 seed, and the play-in. Sixers have their work cut out for them tonight against an absolute juggernaut on the road in San Antonio. But there could be a caveat. We'll get into it all, man, right here on Sixer Game Day Live. Your boy RB is back with the best community in the world. It's a big night for basketball. We'll talk about it all, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome on in, and how do you do? Thank you all so much for being here. It is Monday night, first game of a 4-game week. Maybe the biggest week of the season. We will break it all down right here. But good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're tapping in from. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. So glad to be back with the community. Shout out to my guy JJ for holding it down on Saturday night as I was at an event. It is the Sixers Game Day Live show, though, with your boy RB, presented by our great friends at National University. As always, we are powered by the Prize Picks app. We have the 43 and 35, 8 games above 500, 76ers with 4 to go, taking on the 59 and 19 San Antonio Spurs. Spurs coming off a tough loss in OT against the Nuggets. Sixers coming off a tough loss against Detroit. We will talk a little bit about that as well. This is the #1 Sixers Game Day Live show where we give you pregame, live game, and postgame coverage. That includes our play-by-play, our reactions, our analysis as it all goes down. We read out your comments in real time. We give a voice to the fans. Do me a favor. If you are already in the live chat, we got 80 people in here already. First off, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you for having the noties on. Thank you for being here. Second off, go down below. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get more people into the chat tonight. Let's continue to grow this family. We are a week and a half away from the playoffs, so we're going to be streaming a lot of playoff games. We will have a lot of fun over the next couple of months, and I promise we're not going anywhere anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 53K, and most importantly, make sure you turn on noties if you have not yet. That way you stay in the algorithm and you don't miss any of our live shows, videos, or shorts. And be sure to follow us everywhere. All social medias, our link tree is coming through in the chat. You can follow all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and audio, all from that one link tree link. Last but not least, shout out to the members. Thank you all for being here, man. Shout out to the members for going above and beyond to support the show. If you want to get those emojis, those loyalty badges, get your comments read out priority, get your name highlighted, and much more, hit that join button down below or hit the link pinned in the chat. Alrighty, man. Time to kick it off on Pregame Live here on Philly Take with RB. So, real quick, let me give a 30-second spiel about last game. If you saw my video yesterday, first off, shout out to you. Make sure you turn noties on. But I dropped a little bit of a next day video. To be honest, I wasn't even going to do that, but thank you, Tobias Harris. You gave me free content. It's funny, I actually posted a clip of that video yesterday on social media, and Detroit Pistons fans caught a wind of it everywhere, and they were in the comments saying the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard in my life, defending Tobias Harris. He's the best role player ever, blah, 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 blah. just, another day in the internet culture where I have to read comments and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I didn't really watch the full game the other night. Sixers got blown out without Cade Cunningham, without Joel Embiid playing. Not a game of significance, in my opinion. I knew that they were probably going to lose. Matter of fact, if you remember the last game I was on a few games ago, I told you guys about this weird pattern going on, and it followed suit. So if we look at the Sixers' last 12 games, they won 2 in a row, then they lost 1, then they won 2 in a row, then they lost 1, then they won 2 in a row, then they lost 1, then they won 2 in a row, and they lost 1. So if that pattern continues, as the Sixers have won 4 out of their last 6 games, they should win tonight and Thursday night and lose on Friday to the Pacers. Now, do I think that that's how this is going to play out? Probably not. And we'll talk about why. But just a little cool wrinkle there in the scheduling. The San Antonio Spurs lost to the Nuggets in overtime. Wemby had 34 and 18. You want to hear something crazy, guys and girls? I don't know if you guys realize this. We've talked a lot about the Spurs here, throughout this season. I said a couple games ago, I still think the Thunder are probably unbeatable because they are just so freaking good. But I was looking at the Spurs. They're on a crazy run. And they're getting a lot of recognition, but I still feel like they deserve more. The San Antonio Spurs, ladies and gentlemen, have won 27 out of their last 30 games. The Spurs are 27-3 in their last 30 games. Do you know how ridiculous that is? And some big wins in there, man. Wemby's going crazy. I think Wemby deserves to be in the MVP convo. I really do. They're probably going to give it to SGA, but Wemby is special, and it's funny. I heard them talking like a couple hours ago. This is part 3. This is round 3 of Embiid and Wemby. And I was at part 1, as you all know, the 70-point game. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life. And seeing that up front, seeing the way that Joel, who we learned, showed up to the arena 5 minutes before the game and dropped 70 with no warm-up, dominated a rookie Wemby. But people don't remember that game. Wemby still played really well. I think he had 33, 11, and 5 or something like that. He played really good, but he was a rookie. But to see how the Spurs have transformed a couple years later and where they're at, I mean, everybody's going to talk about OKC because they look like a dynasty in the making. But the Spurs are freaking special, man. And I said it 2 months ago. I actually made a reel on Instagram. Like I said, guys, make sure you follow us on IG and TikTok because I post extra NBA content there that I don't post on YouTube. But I said, the Spurs might actually win the finals. I said this a couple months ago because they are special. They play as a unit. They have no ego. They are the epitome of what the modern day team should look like. And, there's just so many integral parts of it. Young guys, vets, guys that were first-round picks that didn't really pan out as first-round picks, but now they're like crazy role players. And funny enough, one of the role players for the Spurs, Julian Champagnie, if you go back, I think 3.5, 4 years ago on this channel, I made a video when he was undrafted out of St. John's, and I said, Julian Champagnie is an undrafted free agent hidden gem. The only reason I remember that video is because he liked it on my IG channel page story when I put it out. Nobody knew who he was at the time, and I always remember him showing love on that video when I posted it on the IG story. And he came out yesterday. He's having a really good year for the Spurs, and he said, what did he say? My career, would have never got to where, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, my career would have never catapulted to where it was if it wasn't for me being cut by Philly. So he said, shout out to Philly. And again, it just goes in the box of Sixers players that should have had an opportunity that never had one. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Julian Champagnie showed the Sixers a ton. I mean, he never got to play. But now he's with the Spurs, and he looks like an amazing sharpshooting 3-and-D player. And the Sixers had him right in their fingertips and never gave him an opportunity. So that just goes in the box of Sixers players that left, that got cut, whatever the case is, and never had an opportunity. what else do I want to talk about with this game? I mean, this is going to be, in my opinion, a one-sided affair. And I know people are probably in the chat already saying, RB, but we're healthy tonight. We're healthy tonight. Yeah, the Spurs are different, though. I'm not saying the Sixers can't put together a couple competitive quarters. And as you probably have assumed by now, Joel Embiid, who did not play on Saturday in the back-to-back, is playing tonight. Paul George did play in the back-to-back, which was encouraging, but he's playing again tonight. Thought he had a good first half the other night. Like I said, I didn't watch the full thing, but I remember checking the box score at halftime, and he had, 16 at halftime, I think, 17. Tyrese Maxey playing tonight. Cameron Payne apparently strained his hamstring. Didn't see when that happened last game. Somebody can let me know in the chat. But Cameron Payne is out. He hasn't even played much anyway. Nick Nurse has really tightened down the rotation. But anyway, as we look forward to this last week of the season, the NBA put out a graphic, which I will show you all when we get to the live game portion. But 19 of the 20 playoff seeds are not set in stone yet. So, I mean, this is shaping up perfectly for the NBA. Like, this is what they want. They want so much parity. They want competition. They want teams trying until the last game of the season. There's so many different ways that this could go. But the Sixers come into this game tonight, and they are 2 games behind the Atlanta Hawks for the 5 seed. The Sixers are currently tied with Toronto, but they hold the tiebreaker over every other team, over Toronto, Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami. So as of right now, the 76ers are in the 6th seed, but the Hawks do play tonight. They play the New York Knicks. So if the Hawks were to lose to the Knicks, this would be a huge game. Or even if the Hawks end up winning tonight, I mean, the Sixers have to win this game, and it's just hard for me to see that happening. But anyway, part 2 of Embiid versus Wemby, Joel got ejected from that game. That was the game where, Jenna Schroeder, I believe her name is, Joel was right in her face and he got mad. Then he got thrown out. I think that was the game where Drummond got ejected, then came back in the game. It was wild. It was the night where Marcus Hayes, I believe was in the locker. There was a lot going on. So we got ripped of a Embiid Wemby part 2. And I don't believe that they have played since then. So it will be interesting to see how this team plays tonight. The Sixers are the biggest wild card, in my opinion, right now. You just don't know what you're going to get from them. I spent a good half hour today going back and forth because the McCain haters came out of the woodworks and have been posting his box score stat lines. My point with the McCain trade will continue to stay the same. Still was a horrible trade. McCain has had a couple bad games for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Sixers still need more depth off the bench. Some Sixers fans have this weird vision that Quentin Grimes is like some magical player. I checked the box score last game. Quentin Grimes had 0 points, I believe. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we can see a Sixers team that's fully healthy that can play really well together, or a couple guys sit out and they look like the worst team ever. Sometimes they look like the best third quarter team in the world, then they look like the worst second quarter team. Sometimes they look like the best second quarter team. They look like the worst third quarter team. So you can't really put a finger on who this Sixers team is. And that's kind of where I'm at. The Spurs are 5th in offensive rating. They're third in defensive rating. They're top 10 in almost everything. The Spurs are a really sound team, and they're not getting the recognition that they deserve because of the Oklahoma City Thunder. But like I've been saying, I do think the Spurs and the Thunder could be headed towards a epic Western Conference Finals. And I think tonight we're going to see again why the Spurs are really special. Like I said, they've won 27 out of their last 30 games. One of those games was against Philly back in early March, about a month ago from today, I believe. And Tyrese Maxey played that game. It was 2 games before he got injured. And the Spurs beat the Sixers by 40. No Joel, no PG, but 40-point win. So anyway, we will see what happens, man. And even with that 40-point win, it probably should have been a 60-point win until the Spurs rested everybody at the end. So we will see how it goes, man. I don't have much else to add from last game. Like I said, shout out to JJ for holding it down. And yeah, man. That's where we're at. I mean, 4 games left. How many games do you think the Sixers can win out of the last 4? They got the Spurs, the Rockets on Thursday, the Pacers on Friday. So that's a back-to-back. Who knows if Embiid and PG will play. And then Sunday, they'll wrap it up against the Milwaukee Bucks. So we will see. But regardless, man, happy new week. Glad to be here with all of you, man. A lot going on in the NBA and the basketball world today. We're going to talk about it more as we get through here. But 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off as the Sixers are in San Antonio. I'm curious to see how the Sixers match up against a team like this fully healthy. We had that little run in January where they played against fully healthy teams and they looked really good. But, you know, it's been a while since they played a team like this and they were fully healthy. So anyway, man, 180 people already in here. Y'all are absolutely amazing. In case I don't say it enough, I mean, I feel like I say it more than enough, but just so y'all know, man, best community in the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Even if we agree, disagree, whatever, y'all are the best, and it's good to be here. And I'm not missing any more, man. I'm ready to go on this run, even if the Sixers don't make it far in the playoffs. Like I said, similar to last year, we are going to be streaming a ton of playoff games, a lot of coverage on the way, big things in the works. Looking forward to it. Hope you all had a good weekend, man. Friday night was fun when the Sixers beat the Wolves. We were here streaming that. That was fun. Saturday, probably not so much. But here we go, man. 4 games left. Final week of the season that we will embark on. Guys, get this up to 100 likes, man. Get this up to 100 likes so we can wake up the neighbors. We got to piss them off, and we have a lot to talk about, man. All right. Before we get into more of it, man, got to get our final score predictions going. Let me know yours in the chat as always. 4 predictions. Who's going to win the game? What is the final score going to be? Who will be the leading scorer? And how many points will the leading scorer have tonight? So once again, 4 predictions, final score, who gets the W, who will be the leading scorer, and how many points will they have? Final score predictions is presented by our great partners over at Prize Picks. So I'll give you mine on the other side, but first a shout out to the great Prize Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, download the Prize Picks app right now and use the code CLNS when you sign up. The playoff push is right around the corner. The national championship is on tonight. I mean, this is the perfect way to get integrated. There's no better way to cash in if you're right on high-flying hoops action than with Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks. I got some more on you for that in a little bit, but you got to check out their brand new Team Picks markets. I mean, you could pick who's going to win the national championship tonight. You can pick who's going to win the playoffs, whatever series, the finals. You can even pick awards. You can pick who's going to win the MVP, who's going to win Rookie of the Year. There's so many great races going on in the NBA this year. This is a perfect time to get involved. So once again, cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring with Team Picks on Prize Picks. Team Picks are available in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and more. Download the Prize Picks app today. Pick your first game winner, spread, or total. As the playoff push rolls on, get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when using the code CLNS. Once again, use code CLNS. Get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to our picks, our predictions for tonight. I got a couple predictions for you tonight in different sports, different leagues. But in terms of the 76ers, they are an 8.5-point underdog on the road. Spurs have won 27 out of 30. Spurs are dangerous. Yeah, the Sixers have their guys back. I think they will play a competitive game tonight. By the way, Dominic Barlow's now coming off the bench. Forgot to say that on Saturday was the first time that Nick Nurse moved him to the bench. So now Kelly Oubre starts at the 3. Paul George starts at the 4. But I just think the Spurs do everything well. And I think the Sixers still have struggles on the defensive end. Saturday night was another one of those games where they kind of got behind themselves and then they just gave up. So I still question how they can execute throughout a 4-quarter game. I do not have those questions about the San Antonio Spurs. So I am going to say the Spurs win this game tonight 117-108. 117-108. Spurs get the W. And I think Wembanyama is going to have a monster game. I think Joel will play well against Wemby. And I could see, somebody else stepping up like a Stephen Castle. But I just think Wemby has been so fantastic. I mean, he had 34 against Joker the other night. 34, 18, 7, and 5 blocks. It's ridiculous. I'm going to say Wemby drops 32 tonight. So give me Wemby for 32. And the Spurs win it. What did I say? 118. Or no, I said 117-108. Yeah. 9-point game. Just covers the spread. 117-108. Wemby with 32. Sixers hold up a bit, but I think the Spurs are just better. So that's my thoughts. That's where I'm at. Let's go to the chat. First off, 200 people in here. Get us to 100 likes. Let's go, guys. Get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel. Let's see who we have in the building here on a Monday night as hoops are heating up. Busy B in the house. What up, Busy? Knew you'd be here. 129, 114 Spurs, Wemby 32. Dan B, what's up, man? Channel member 128, 118 Spurs, Wemby with 38. Hope I'm wrong, RB. Reeks is 117, 111 Sixers. Maxi with 33. Who else we got up in here? Cool J says we're getting steamrolled tonight. 141, 119 Spurs, Wemby 43. Rob says Spurs, Wemby with 33, 121, 109. Dom Boyle, what's up, bro? 117, 114. Maxi 31. CT says Maxi 31. Go Birds is 134, 132 Sixers. Embiid with 34. Legendary says I'm going with a reverse jinx. 125, 117 Spurs. Wemby with 37 and 17. Yeah, I think Wemby will have when I say 32 points, I think he'll have 32 and 15 boards. Busy B says, I hope your boy Yaxel is okay. An MCL sprain has to suck during the biggest game of his career. We are going to talk about that in a few minutes. Don't you worry. I have some things to say, Busy. Thank you for reminding me. Who else we got up in here? Lou World, what's up, brother? What's up, Lou? And by the way, just letting y'all know right now, hold on, so I don't forget, because we got a lot going on tonight. The diehards know what it means, man. We got bonus trivia tonight. We have 4 games remaining. Since I missed last game, I think we're going to do a 2-point bonus question tonight. And then for the final 3 games, who knows? Maybe we'll do a couple questions each game. Maybe we won't. Trivia race is tight. It is coming down to the wire. Can Cable SC hold on to his trivia lead? Or can Lou World regain the prize? Or can one of the other people get in on it? We'll see, man. Maybe we'll have some surprises in store. Lou World, what's up, man? Says back from a vacation for Sixers win. Let's get it. Robert says I'm going to try the reverse jinx. 125-116 Spurs. Lawrence, what's going on? V says 128-111 loss. Benjamin says, hope you're wrong. I hope I'm wrong too, Benjamin. I hope I'm wrong too. Dan says, don't like Nurse moving Barlow to the bench. Karen, what's going on? Sixers 122-116 W. Joel with 40. John Monroe in the chat. Who else? Wemby 29. Spurs 136-98 says Estelle. Let's see. Yeah, and B's going to have to be at his best, man. Edward, what's up? V, what's good? AQ, what's up? Vincent says 125-112 Spurs. Fox with 25. Shout out to Embiid for showing up tonight. Says Bird Gang Nation. George says 124-113. Let's go, man. It's about that time. 200 in the building already. It's going to be a big night. Ladies and gentlemen, I need all the energy in here, man. I need to feel it. I need to channel the energy. Neighbors got to feel it. Let's go. Drop the fires. It's time to play the beat, man. Drop the beat. Let's go. Come on, man. Sixer Game Day Live. 4 left in the season plus playoffs. Playoffs? We'll get into that. We got a bunch of NBA content coming up. It's RB and the best community in the world. Oh yeah, we're back. Big week incoming, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Woo! Pump it through my veins, baby. Oh yeah, we're bringing the energy. We bring the energy every single game, man. Pre-game, live game, and post-game coverage. 4-hour shows every game. We've been grinding it out all season, even through the tough month of March. But we're here, man. Stick around all night. Pre-game, live game, post-game. 4 hours of coverage every single game. Please do not spam in the chat. No spoiling in the chat as well. Wait until I call it for you to comment on it in the chat. That is much appreciated, so we don't spoil the experience for anybody. Otherwise, the mods will have to time you out. Now, before we get into this game, ladies and gentlemen, we probably have a couple minutes here. As Busy B alluded to in the chat, the national championship is on tonight. If you have been watching March Madness, let me know in the chat. March Madness has been fantastic this year. I've been really tapped into March Madness because, as I told you all the day it started, a guy that I used to play a little hoops with is in the tournament, and he's actually in the national championship game tonight. And oh, he's just dominated the entire tournament. His name is Yaxel, and shout out to him. Happy for him in his journey, but he is dealing with an MCL sprain. Took a nasty fall the other night, even though his team is ridiculous. They've put up like historical numbers. Could he be a potential Sixers draft pick? We will talk about that weeks down the line. But no, his story is crazy, and it is crazy that they're in the national championship. And yeah, like I said, I've scored. I am 99.9% sure I've scored a bucket on this man. So it is crazy to see him dominating the way he is. But UConn, Michigan, give me your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to try to have the game up as well, because I'll be honest with y'all, I don't want to miss the game, man. I don't want to miss it. I'm going to try to have it up as well here. Take some peeks at it. Who do we think is going to win the national championship tonight? We got Sixers, Spurs. We have Michigan, UConn. We have a couple other good games in the NBA that we have to keep our eyes on. Detroit and Orlando are in the second quarter right now. Orlando is winning that game. The Knicks and the Hawks are in the second quarter. The Hawks are winning that game. Not good for the 76ers right now. Now, let me pull up this graphic real quick before we get underway. This is what I wanted to show y'all. This was put out by the NBA. Pretty much 19 out of the 20 seeds have not been decided yet in the last week of the season. So this is where we're looking at right here. The 5 to 10 have not been decided. The Sixers can get the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, or the 10. So right now they're the 6th seed. They are tied with the Raptors, but they hold the tiebreaker over these 4 teams. They do not hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta. So they are 2 games behind the Atlanta Hawks. So it's not likely, I would say, especially if the Hawks win tonight, they're not getting the 5 seed. So we have to hope that the Knicks can beat the Hawks tonight. But the Sixers really want to stay out of this play-in tournament. They do not want to fall into this play-in, to be honest. I know I said on my short yesterday, I'm kind of starting to root for the Sixers to fall to the 8 seed so they can play Detroit, because that whole Tobias Harris thing, and let me know if you guys noticed that in real time on Saturday. You know, did they show that on the broadcast? Like, were they talking about it? I didn't see the game, but you know, I posted a clip yesterday on all social medias, and a bunch of Pistons fans just flooded the comments, calling me all the names in the book because I said Tobias, is unaware of himself. Like, that is the most Tobias Harris thing ever. To start flexing in a game where Joel Embiid doesn't even play. Like, y'all don't understand that is who Tobias is, man. Nothing personal, but like, he just, it's not his fault he got the max contract, but he just came up short so many times. And if Cade is not 100%, shoot, I would love the Sixers to play the Pistons in the playoffs, but they still dog walked the Sixers the other night. Anyway, if the Sixers end up in the 6th seed, Like, I'll be honest to you, I'd rather play the New York Knicks than the Celtics. The Celtics are the last team on the totem pole that I want to play. I do not want the Sixers to play the Celtics in the first round. I'd much rather play the Knicks. I hope the Sixers can get up to the 5 seed because then they could probably play the Cavaliers. And I think the Sixers beat the Cavaliers in a 7-game series. But anyway, these are all the possibilities that remain. A ton in both conferences. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be very interesting. Anyway, that is where we are at. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat. Lou World says, I won my bracket because of Michigan thanks to Yaxel. It is crazy, man. It is crazy seeing somebody that you have hooped with before on the biggest stage. I hope he can play. That's my biggest hope for Yaxel tonight. I hope that he starts and that he can give it a go. He came back in last game, so I feel like he's going to be able to play, but you also have to worry about these guys with their long-term health, you know? Like if he has an MCL sprain, you don't want to try to play through that because then you could tear up your knee and like that would ruin his draft process and all that stuff. So I hope that he's healthy to play and that everybody can play. That's my main thing. But yeah, I think Michigan should probably win. They've been dominating. But then again, you look at UConn, right? And there's something to be said about coaching. Funny enough, tying it back to the Sixers, right? Like, coach does matter. UConn has won 2 out of the last 3 national championships. Their coach has been there. He's done it. I heard some crazy stat, like UConn's 6-0 in the national championship. That's insane. And Michigan is 1-6, and they haven't won since 1989. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out tonight. Lou World says Kate and Ala were glazing Tobias. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I don't know who Tobias thinks he is, but he is a role player at this point. Maybe he always has been. Again, I'm not here to say Tobias was the worst player ever. He just could not live up to what the Sixers needed. And honestly, I don't even feel like we're talking about Tobias anymore. But the fact that he comes into Philly, and what did he get booed a little bit? And then he says, get ready for the play-in tournament. All right, Tobias. All right. Whatever. Let's see. Pistons will bully the Sixers no matter who is playing. I don't agree with that. AN, what's going on? Dan says Tobias should not have any apologists. His contract essentially ruined Embiid's career. I would agree. I would agree that Tobias was a big part, not because of him, like the organization paid him, but that was like really when it started to turn downhill. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole revisionist thing right now, Jimmy Butler and all that, but you know, Tobias just couldn't get it done, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. RB would want Sixers to draft him since you've hooped against him. Oh, definitely. That would be awesome. That would be really cool to see him here. But also, I actually think he'd be a great fit for this team, funny enough, in terms of Yaxo. I think he'd be a perfect fit in the 20s. And again, you had all these little weird McCain haters on Twitter today talking to me like, oh, well, the Sixers got rid of Jared McCain and they're going to get some great starter in the 20s, which, if you know anything about the draft, it's very, very rare that you get a starter in the 20s. But I would like them to draft Yaxel if he is there. I don't know if he'll be there at this point based on how well he's played in the tournament. But yeah, you know, people just say anything nowadays, pretty much. Kid Kern, what's up? Maxey and Embiid finished with 30 each with nice contributions from everyone else. Grimes for 3 threes and 19 points. I like it. I like it. So if you haven't watched the Spurs at all this season, right, we know about Wemby. We know about De'Aaron Fox. Stephon Castle, speaking of UConn, great player for UConn. Him and Klingon a couple years ago I said would be really good NBA players. But they just have the perfect rotation. I think they could be a little bit deeper. You know, they have guys like Harrison Barnes and they have Kelly Olynyk and guys like that. But the San Antonio Spurs, man, they're like core 7 or 8. They just glue together so well. And I've watched a handful of Spurs games this year and like they really believe in Wemby. They believe in the system that they play through. You know, everybody touches the ball. Like they do all the little things well. all the things that I sit up here every game and talk about with the Sixers needing to do well, the Spurs do them well. You know, they have former first-round picks like Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. These guys are like 29, 30 years old at this point. Actually, Keldon's only 26, and I think Vassell's 29 or 28. Actually, no, he's 25, so I'm wrong about that. They've been in the league, though, for like 6 years, so they must have came in when they were like 18 years old. But, you know, former first-round picks that are probably not worthy of first-round picks, but they're just really good role players. Then they have the undrafted gem in Julian Champagnie. They draft Dylan Harper. Now, they did get lucky 2 years in a row in the lottery. They jumped up to the top 4. They got Wemby number 1, and then they got Dylan Harper last year or this year. So they have guys, man. And they drafted Carter Bryant in the first round this year. Spurs have a good rotation. They really do. I'm interested to see how the Sixers play at full health against these guys. Everybody pretty much healthy tonight. So we will see. We will see. I don't think the Spurs shoot the 3 ball necessarily that well. I think they're middle of the pack. I know that's one thing they could do a little bit better, but they rebound. They're second best rebounding team in the NBA, top 10 in assists. You know, I think they're like top 10 in blocks. They just do everything. So that's where we're at, man. See what happens. But thank you all for being here. 270 people in the chat. We need 5 more likes. Get us to 100 likes. Let's get it rocking and rolling. It's going to be a big night in the NBA. Let's go, man. Let's go, chat. Members, I want to see you guys in here. I want to hear you in the chat. 4 games to go. 43-35 on the campaign. Let's get the stats up and going. Trying to hit that air horn, you know what I mean? All righty. We are off in San Antonio. The Spurs with it first. Wemby a 3, left it a bit short. Spurs rocking the black jerseys tonight. Sixers rocking the red jerseys. VJ to Joel. Pump fakes, drives against Wemby, steps back. Joel puts it up, can't get it to go. Joel on Friday night against the Wolves did not play well in the first half. He was 1 of 10, and then he had a really good second half. Wemby drives the lane. He trips over Joel. Both guys get up cleanly. Here's a 3 from San Antonio. That one's no good for Castle. Sixers have it. Here's VJ dribbling, spins. Oubre, Embiid. Embiid pulls up at the nail. He's double-teamed. Joel, Maxey to the corner. PG for 3. Cha-ching! Paul George has been on a heater, and he scores first tonight. Oubre steals away the San Antonio pass. Here come the Sixers. Maxey going to drive, floats it up, left it on the rim. Here come the Spurs. Castle up the floor. Here's a 3 ball, and that one is good. It's going to be Devin Vassell who knocks it down first. He had a big game against the Sixers a month ago. Paul George at the top now, coming around the other way, finds Joel. Joel thinking top of the arc for a 3. It's short. Joel's going to have to be aggressive. Here come the Spurs down low, and Castle is fouled by VJ Edgecombe. So that is how we begin. Joel looked a little bit hunched over there, grabbing his knee. Looked like he came down awkwardly when trying to contest that Wemby shot. Dude, this man, he just comes down awkwardly all the time. First one is good for Stefan Castle. Did we hit 100 likes yet? Let's check. We got 100 likes in the chat. Let's go! Yes, sir. Drop those yes, sirs in the chat. Let's get it hyped up a little bit. Come on now. 2 of 2 at the line for the Spurs. Hold up. There's the dribble drive, and Vassell missed it at the cup. Here come the 76ers. VJ up the floor. He's going to pull up for a 3. It's good. VJ Edgecombe. Did we have a foul off the ball? Looked like Kelly Oubre got fouled. He's still staring at someone, almost trying not to laugh. So did we get like an inadvertent and one there? What the heck is going on here with this, man? So we did get an and one. Drop the ones. Kelly Oubre is going to knock it down. So it ends up being a weird 4-point play, but I will take it. All righty. De'Aaron Fox going to spin and drive. Had it poked away. Here come the 76ers. VJ up the floor. Misses it. Oubre taps it in. Sixers lead it 9-5 after a quick 5-0 run. 6-0 run, excuse me. Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome into the Sixers Game Day live show. Presented by National University. Wemby misses the jumper. Here come the 76ers on a run. PG drives, kicks all the way out to the perimeter. Swings to Joel for 3. It's short. Joel 0 of 3 to begin this game. 4 games left in the season. Here's Wemby going to turn, spin, just completely leave Maxey in the dust, and he just did one lunge to the rim and was able to slam it down. Look, that game I went to where Embiid dropped 70, I was standing courtside pregame watching Wemby warm up. He is taller than you even think as Paul George misses the mid-range. Like, I stood there for like 10 minutes and watched Wemby up close as Castle slams it down on the other end. I watched Wemby up close, and I was like, there's no way this is a real human being. Like, the fact that he can move the way he does at his height is ridiculous. Ridiculous. So now the Spurs on a quick 4-0 run. We're 4 minutes in. Maxey going to come around a screen. He steps back, kicks it out. Paul George contested 3. Got it again. Are you kidding me?
He's on fire.
Paul George. Yo, drop the PGs in the chat, man. Drop the Yo, it is time to put some respect as... Oh my gosh, as Stephon Castle just got Embiid. And now Embiid looks like he's limping a bit. Embiid, you better not be hurt, bro. You better not be hurt. Oh my gosh, bro. Embiid's limping off the floor. Joe, please. He's grabbing his ankle. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you, man. If Embiid is out the rest of this game, it will completely suck the energy out of me. I'm really not trying to be, like, down, bro. I'm like, come on, man. I think he'll be okay, but come on, man. He got hurt on that last play where he tried to contest a Wemby layup, and it came down and, like, his foot kind of was, like, skidding against the floor a little bit, and then he went down. Wemby tripped over him. He got up fine, but now you can tell he's in some pain. He is in some pain, man. It's very frustrating seeing Joel get hurt all the time. So anyway, he got hurt trying to contest the layup, I guess, and now we'll see what happens, but ay, man. 400 people in the chat, though. Get us to 200 likes. Let's go. We need some good energy, man. We need some good vibes, man. Yes, sir. We need some good vibes, man. I'm hoping that we come back from commercial here and Joel is back in the game and he's fine. but he came off the floor. Nurse had to call timeout. He was limping. I didn't get to finish my point about Paul George. Paul George is on fire. Paul George is absolutely on fire the last several games. But right after the Paul George 3, Joel Embiid comes limping off the floor, holding his ankle. Hopefully he's okay. When did that happen? It happened on like, where are we at? The 8-minute mark? It happened like a couple minutes in, maybe like a minute or two into the game. Busy B says he hopped up quick when Wemby fell. He did hop up quick and he looked fine, but Joel, he is starting his game again, shooting a lot from the perimeter. Like, we need to see him inside the paint against Wemby. Can't just camp on the three-point line shooting all day. That's what he did in the first half against the Wolves. So did we get an update here? Like, they're not showing Embiid. So Embiid's not on the floor. So they just took him out, and he's sitting on the bench. Are y'all not going to give us an update? Okay, well, Drummond's in now. Paul George from the baseline. Off the backboard miss. Drummond the rebound. Drummond to Maxey. Maxey floats it high in the air. It's in and out. Can't get it. Spurs running the floor. 5-on-4. Castle, Wemby, lost control of it. Somehow saved it. Unbelievable. Here's Champagnie to Wemby. Drop step and he's fouled. That was ridiculous. I just saw Wemby do a drop step and he like glided 5 feet. That's how tall he is. That's ridiculous. Unstoppable. That was unstoppable. I don't know why Kelly fouled him though. Why would you put your arms on him? Like, there's no point. Dude, that's an overpowered move right there. Holy crap. Wemby's averaging 25, 11 boards, and 3 assists this season. He's probably averaging like 3 blocks a game, if I had to guess. Wemby going to knock down the free throw. The Spurs lead it by 2. So let's see if we can actually get an update here on Joel. Is he going to play or... Here's Kelly Oubre up top. So Maxey and Embiid both 0 of 3 to begin the game. Here's Paul George, one-on-one against Champagnie, the former Sixer, undrafted free agent signing. Paul George to Drummond, floats it up, had it blocked, couldn't get it to go. Sixers get it back. Second attempt, here's Kelly Oubre. Oubre to Maxey. Sixers 4 of 14 from the field. Here's Paul George. He's going to step back for 3. Got it again.
He's on fire.
Yo, this Paul George is different, man. This PG is on a different level right now. That's 3 threes for Paul George in the first 6 minutes of the game. Here's Stephon Castle behind the back against PG. Blows by, floats it up. Wemby there to throw it down. Drummond looks completely lost. Drummond does not know what he is doing right now. VJ, Sixers 5-on-4. Drummond under the rim, goes up, got it, and one.
Yes, sir.
And one. Andre Drummond headed to the stripe for another. Castle got up slow now. He looks to be walking gingerly off the floor. Is Stephon Castle hurt? Drummond was fouled by Dylan Harper, who just came in for the first time. So Drummond will head to the free throw line. 6:13 to go here in the first. And Castle immediately going back to the locker room. So Joel Embiid is on the bench. And Stephon Castle is going back to the locker room. Okay. Interesting start here. Harper behind the back. He spins. He steps back. Mid-range. Harper got it. I just said before the game, too, that the Spurs have been relatively healthy most of the season. Here's Kelly Oubre at the top, guarded by Keldon Johnson. Here is VJ Edgecombe. Edgecombe one-on-one. The ISO special. VJ downhill. Try to find Drummond. It was knocked away. And it's going to stay with the Sixers. 480 people in the chat. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here, man. Sixer Game Day Live, presented by National University. powered by the Prize Picks app. Shout out to the members and the mods, everybody else here. Looks like Castle fell and maybe twisted his knee or his ankle. I don't even know, but don't want to see anybody get hurt. Oubre going to spin and drive against Vassell. Goes through 2 defenders up and missed it. VJ tried to get the board. He saves it, but the Spurs steal it away. Luke Cornett is in for the first time. Spurs kick it up the floor. Vassell in transition. Can't get the 3. Oubre the board. The rookie, Carter Bryant, number 11, in as well for the first time for San Antonio. Here's Paul George around the screen. Paul George going to drive downhill, accelerates, goes up, and finishes again. Paul George, take us to the promised land. He is cooking, man. Yo, this is LA Clippers Paul George, man. This might be Indiana Paul George. Vassell misses the mid-range. Here come the Sixers. Maxey up the floor now, looking for a bucket. Oubre, the corner, a 3. He got it. Sixers lead it by 5. Here are the San Antonio Spurs. Carter Bryant on the wing. He drives downhill, turns and spins. Vassell going all the way against Maxey. Steps back. Vassell mid-range. Got the lucky bounce. Paul George's going to step back. He stepped out of bounds, though. Got to watch the heels, man. So Joel is going to limp over to the scores table. It looks like he's going to come back in. Got to hope that it doesn't linger, though, and that he's out for the next handful of games. Sixers lead it by 3, 23-20. Harper through the lane. A couple defenders goes up, blocked by Drummond. And they're going to call a goaltend. They're going to say it hit the backboard. So it is a 1-point game. Let's see if Joel comes back in here. Grimes is in the game. $480 people in the chat. Thank y'all for being here, man. Embiid is not back in yet. Here's Dominic Barlow in for the first time, now coming off the bench for Philly. Barlow drives the lane, and he was fouled on the dunk attempt by Luke Cornett. So it is Dominic Barlow headed to the stripe. So I don't understand why Joel came off the floor, though. Because we were only a couple minutes into the game. So did he come off for a rest? Is Nurse trying to stagger? Like, I don't get it. Or is he hurt? That's what I'm trying to figure out. First one is good for Dominic Barlow. Sixers lead it by 2. All right, here comes Joel back in the game. So 3:30 to go. He missed about, I think, like 5 minutes or so. But Joel is back in the game, and the free throws are good. So it is a 3-point ball game. Here is Keldon Johnson getting big against Quentin Grimes. Floats it up, can't get it to go. Embiid the rebound. Here come the 76ers. 3:20 to go here in quarter number 1. Barlow to Embiid. Embiid to Maxey. Maxey around a screen. Maxey one bounce back to Embiid. Embiid from the mid-range. Got it. So now Embiid's still limping around the floor, trying to test out that ankle a little bit. I don't know. They didn't give us a real update. But anyway, we got a timeout on the floor. Sixers lead it by 5. That is where we sit. That is where we sit. 530 in the chat, 150 on the like button. Get us to 200 likes. Thank you all for being here. How are we feeling so far? Definitely an injury scare with Joel Embiid. Stephon Castle went out for San Antonio. Looked like he took a spill with his ankle or knee. and we'll see if we get an update on him. But yeah, how do we feel about Joel Embiid right now? How do we feel? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some blue and red flowing in the chat as we do every first quarter. Let's get a little roll call in here. Let's see who's in here from Sixer Nation. Drop some blue and red in the chat. Trivia coming up here at the end of the first quarter. Make sure you click our link tree and follow us on all platforms as well. Throw that up in here. I just hope that Joel is not hurt for the next several games. That's my biggest concern. In case you guys didn't see it today, another piece of NBA news, former Denver Nuggets coach Michael Malone has agreed to become the next head coach of UNC, the Tar Heels. So Michael Malone leaving the ESPN booth, and he is going to college. Very interesting hire. I didn't know, but apparently his daughter goes there, so maybe that was the reason he chose to go there. I thought another NBA team would pick him up, but maybe NBA teams also do not want to go with older coaches anymore. Maybe they want to find the young, innovative guy. So I don't know. Or maybe he had a couple NBA offers, but he didn't want to go to, I don't know, the Kings or, whoever else. And then he was like, yeah, I'll just go to college. Busy says, I'm sad I wanted him on the Sixers. Mr. Scum, I know he's been talking about him for a while. I saw a stat today on Twitter that Andre Drummond is ranked 152nd out of 152 big men in the NBA in terms of field goal percentage around the rim. So in terms of big men in the NBA, he is dead last, shooting 52% from the field around the rim, which is almost impossible if you think about it, right? As a 7-foot big man, you're only making half your shots at the rim. I don't understand that. Now, the bright side is that Andre Drummond actually improved his three ball, which is very weird. So he can't shoot around the rim, but he can shoot threes. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. Joel back in the game guarding Luke Cornett. Now we're seeing some Justin Edwards minutes for the first time. Did he play the other night against Detroit? Let's see. Has Edwards played at all? Because I still don't understand why he doesn't get any burn. Edwards played 10 minutes last game. No points. Still think he should be getting some more minutes consistently, but that's just my opinion. Wemby's back in against Embiid. He pushes him away. Embiid tracks him down. Wemby turns it over. Edwards the steal. Edwards 2-on-1. Drives all the way. Lays it in against Keldon Johnson. And the Sixers lead it 26-22. Johnson all the way. Couldn't get the contested layup. Edwards up the floor. Sixers in transition. Maxey has it. Turns around. Puts it up. And can't get it to go. A tough miss by Tyrese Maxey from about 5 feet away. Sixers blew a fast break opportunity right there. Here's Wemby against Barlow. Wemby goes down. Looked like he got hit in the mouth by Barlow. So now Wemby gets up. Anytime he goes down, you got to be holding your breath because when he falls, he falls. All right, man, let's see if we can get this to 200 likes. We got plenty of people in the chat. If it's your first time watching us, welcome. Thanks for being here. Pregame, live game, postgame, every game. We break it down for the fans. Here's the drive and the kick from Harper. Johnson, wide open corner three. Got it to go. That is the Sixers' Achilles heel right there, leaving guys wide open in the corner. It's not good, and they do it all the time. Maxey to Grimes. Grimes, the pump fake, steps back. Don't know why he did a step back. Had a wide open lane. Maxey to Embiid. Embiid against Wemby. Embiid trying to draw a foul. Steps back. Had it blocked by the long outstretched arm of Wemby. Johnson going downhill. Kicks it out. Here's De'Aaron Fox up top to Harper. Now the corner, another wide open three. Gets Embiid to jump. Barnes drives the lane and slams it down. An old-aged veteran, Harrison Barnes, elevates off the ground and gets it to go down with the two-handed jam. Joel to Maxey. Joel going to find Maxey. Maxey kicks it out to Embiid. Embiid throws it away. Here come the Spurs 3-on-1. Fox oops it up. Wemby catches it one hand and tomahawks it. Wemby literally jumped from the free throw line and he was at the rim. So the Spurs are on a run here at the end of the first, 7-0 run. Embiid hands off to Grimes. Now Maxey at the top, guarded by De'Aaron Fox. Maxey around the screen. He's got to get going. Grimes contested triple. That's short. Sixers are struggling from three right now. Wemby behind the back, had it poked away. Nice steal by Barlow, and he was fouled. That should be a clear path foul. That should be a clear path foul, man. Dude, Wemby almost didn't have enough room to get up and, like, throw the ball down. Like, he jumped so far that his head almost hit the rim. Holy smokes, man. 30 seconds to go here in quarter number one. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get in on the live chat and become a part of the family. Here's Joel Embiid. He's going to drive against Wemby. Goes up, reverse layup, rolled around and fell through. Nice bucket for Joel. Harrison Barnes, a three from the corner. He missed it. Johnson floats it out, away, stolen. Three ball will not count anyway, full court. But anyway, that's where we're at the end of one. Crazy game so far, man. In case you guys did not hear it at the beginning on the pregame show, tonight's question will be worth 2 points, and it's a big one with only 4 games to go. So welcome on in. It is the end of the first quarter. You know what time it means. It is time for our favorite segment, Sixer Scholars Trivia, presented by National University. Shout out to our great partners over at NU. Check out all their flexible online curriculums and degree options down in the comments. Hit that link or go down to the description. All right, man, you know the drill. Only one guess is permitted in the chat. I'm going to say the question first, and then I will drop it in the live chat. It is the Sixer Scholars Trivia question, and it's a big one. It is, and it is worth 2 bonus points. So this is massive for one of you out there. All right, man. Here is the question. What is the most 40-point games in a single season by a Sixers player in franchise history? What is the most 40-point games in a single season by a Sixers player in franchise history? Only one guess permitted. 30 seconds on the clock. What is the most 40-point games in a single season by a Sixers player in franchise history? If nobody gets it, we will see who got it without going over. Give you guys another 20 seconds to get your guesses in. Then I will type done in the chat. And that is how we will go. Play-by-play with JJ's in the chat. Shout out to JJ for holding it down. If you guys have not yet subscribed to JJ, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but shout out to our guy for holding it down, man. Did a great job on Saturday. So make sure you go check him out and subscribe to his channel. Does every Phillies game, does March Madness, does everything. Streaming our boy, I'm guessing tonight. See if Michigan can get the W. Shout out Yaks, man. I think he's going to be playing tonight, so. All right, I'm going to type done in the chat. No more guesses will be permitted after this. All right. So it looks like they just started the game without any coming back from commercial. So we'll wait till the first stoppage and we will announce the answer. Here's Paul George, a mid-range pull-up, can't get it to go. PG had 11 in the first, and Joel is fouled after having 4 in the first. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, the question is, what is the most 40-point games in a single season by a Sixers player in franchise history? The guy who did it is Wilt Chamberlain, as you probably guessed. And the correct answer in 1965-66 is 18 games of 40-plus points. 18! Let's see who got it first. BLSG has 17. Do we have an 18? Do we have an 18? Do we have an 18? We have an 18. It was Go Birds 76ers. Go Birds had it correct. 18 games of 40-plus points in a season. Go Birds 76ers as Joel goes 1 of 2 at the line. Let's go ahead and mark down Go Birds Sixers. By the way, Go Birds Sixers had one of those questions a few weeks ago that was worth 3 bonus points. So he's all of a sudden back in the loop. Fox misses the little bunny. Here come the 76ers. Game tied at 29. I'll read you out the updated leaderboard. And don't worry, we have some more bonus questions coming up for these last 3 games. That's why you got to stay tapped in all night long. Paul George has got smacked on the head, no whistle. Here come the Spurs 5-on-4. Fox going to drive, kick the castle. Paul George isn't even in the picture. 3 ball from Lindy Waters. It's missed. Shout out to the legend, Lindy Waters. All right, let's go ahead and mark down our boy Go Birds Sixers. Congratulations, man. 18 was the correct answer. So that is a 2-point bonus question as Castle floats it up. By the way, Stefan Castle back in the game, so glad to see that Castle's okay. Here's Joel Embiid backing down Castle, and this time it was poked away. Up the floor, Wemby just got poked in the eye, I think, by Paul George. Now he's grabbing his elbow. Wemby took a hard spill. So now Wemby is down on the floor. Like I said, when he falls, man. Maybe banged his elbow. I don't know. Wemby's slow to get up. He's holding his shoulder, maybe. His pec muscle. Now he's going to get up. Okay. So with that, all of a sudden, Go Birds, who did not have a point a few weeks ago, is now 4th on the leaderboard, actually. We have Cable SSC, who is at 11 points, sitting atop the chain. We have Lou World and VDant tied at 2nd with 9. And we have Bird Gang Nation in 3rd place with 8. And now Go Bird Sixers in 4th place with 6. Still a lot of opportunity over the last 3 games. We're going to do a lot of bonus questions. So make sure you stay tapped in. And thank you all for playing Sixers Scholars Trivia. Stefan Castle got fouled by VJ Edgecombe. And we have a $2 super chat. Philly for Life says, what up, RB? How we doing, fam? Glad to see Embiid. I'm glad he's okay. I don't know if you were here, Philly, but he got hurt in the first couple minutes of the game. Now he's been kind of limping around. But glad that he's okay. I agree. Stefan Castle going to knock down the first. Shouts out to all the members in the chat. I see the chat lighting up different colors. If you guys want to become a member before the playoffs, definitely check it out. Hit the join button down below. Get in on the action, man. And shout out to JJ in the house, man. Mods, make sure you drop his link as well so people can check him out. Castle going to knock down at the line, 31-29. Now Wemby's actually walking back to the locker room, so Wemby might be hurt now. Guess he's going to get checked out. So Castle went to the locker room. He came back. Now Wemby's going to the locker room. VJ pull-up jumper. Got it. We're tied at 31. Here's Stephon Castle, finds De'Aaron Fox, the pump fake, the drive. Fox puts it up and gets it to go. Yeah, Embiid got hurt in the first minute of the game or second minute of the game. Then he came back in, but everybody's getting hurt in this game. Now Joel gets fouled en route to the bucket. So Joel's still limping around on that ankle. Does not look confident in it at all. Wemby went back to the locker room with it. Looked like a shoulder injury. And Stephon Castle is back in the game now. $2 super chat. Philly for Life says, what happened with Embiid? He went to contest a Wemby layup, and like his left leg came down quicker than expected. And he kind of like jammed it. And he got up and he was limping around. He's still kind of like grabbing at his ankle. He came out for like 5 minutes and then he came back in the game. Still not a ton of action from Embiid. You can see him being a little bit ginger on his, I think it's his left ankle, left knee. I'm just hoping that Embiid isn't hurt after tonight's game. Like hopefully he can still play and, you know, he's all right. 'Cause sometimes it takes a little bit for him to, or for an injury, you know what I mean? To like really hit somebody. Guys, we got 550 in the building. We need 15 more likes to get to 200. Who's going to do it for us, man? We got to put up a poll question. You guys love that poll question. We're going to be streaming the entire playoffs, so make sure y'all stay tapped in. Even if you're not Philly fans, you are welcome in this community. Here's De'Aaron Fox, kicks it out. Here's Lindy Waters, a three. It bounces again, and goes in. Are you kidding me? No way. Lindy Waters. Paul George around a screen from Embiid. He drives into the lane, kicks it out. VJ, the pump fake. Now Grimes, wide open for three. It's good. Q. Aaron Fox down the other way, poked away by VJ. It's going to stay with San Antonio. Beer Batter Gummy Shark, what's up, man? Sixers need to step it up and take advantage if Spurs are injured. Well, Fox is back in. We'll see what happens with Wembanyama. Spurs have won 27 out of their last 30 games, which is absurd. Fox for three. That's off the mark. I've been on the Spurs train all season. I've been talking very highly of them. Paul George fouled by Lindy Waters. Paul George with 11 points. Looks really good again tonight. What if this is a preview of the finals? That would be nuts. First one good for Paul George. So Paul George going to split the free throws. Sixers still lead by one. Here's the alley-oop, and Joel doesn't even think about contesting it. Joel didn't even think about going for that. Maybe he couldn't. I don't know. Here's Joel Embiid against Luke Cornett. Come on, Joe. You got to take him. That's baby food, man. It's barbecue chicken. Embiid. VJ kicks it out to Oubre back in the game. Oubre falls to the ground, and he's fouled by Harrison Barnes. I'll be honest with y'all, man. This might be the... Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with this. Is this the best Paul George since that Clippers Western Conference Finals run? This might be the best Paul George I've seen in 5 years. Playing really good. We lose against no Cade Pistons, but keep up with the Spurs. What is this team? You know, Drum, that's exactly what I said in our pregame show today. I said you cannot predict the 76ers, man. Joel gets it off balance, leaner, gets it to go. He slipped trying to get up. Spurs run it all the way down the other end. Joel and PG were on the floor. They couldn't get up in time. And Joel slipped trying to get up. Led to a Spurs bucket. Here's Joel against two guys. Had it poked away this time. It was Lindy Waters up to De'Aaron Fox, drives again all the way, lays it up and in. Dude, you can't give up easy buckets like this. And Joel's just walking around. I mean, he looks either hurt or winded right now. He's playing better than he was to begin, but come on, man. Paul George misses a 3 short. Here's Stephon Castle, steps back over Grimes, gets the fall. Rookie of the year, Stephon Castle. He's cooking right now. Here's Joel Embiid, going to find Quentin Grimes. Grimes around his screen, finds VJ. VJ in the lane. Here's Joel posting up. They double him. Kicks back to VJ. Contested 3. Short. Embiid, the rebound, puts it back in. And he got the and one.
Yes, sir.
Drop the ones in the chat. That was a great play by Joel, man. Nice to get the offensive rebound. He's played a lot better here in the second quarter. That is for sure. Just has to stay healthy. They're doubling him every possession right now. They are swarming Joel Embiid. He's cooking while Wemby's out, though. No update on Wemby yet. Joel is going to miss the second free throw. Or I'm sorry, miss the free throw. So he goes 0 of 1 at the line. 7 minutes to go here in the second. Here's Castle, floats it up. Cornette tips it in. They're just cooking the Sixers with that alley-oop, man. Joel can't get up to defend it, really. Now we got a timeout by Nick Nurse on the other end. So the Spurs lead it by 5. Offensively, things are coming together, but the Sixers need to find a way to stop an alley-oop. They're just giving these wide-open ollies. No defense at all. That's been the Sixers' problem this season. Philly for Life, $2 Super Chat says, where is the defense, RB? This is wild. No interior defense. Well, right on cue, Philly. That's exactly what I was saying, brother. I agree. People don't want to hear this, and they're not going to want to, because they think I'm like criticizing Joel Embiid, but Joel's playing good offensively right now, but defensively, where are we at, man? Like, the offense is coming together, but come on now. And somehow the Sixers are only down by 5. So I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, chat, let's play a fun game that we like to play here in the second quarter. It is called Drop the Spot. And while you're doing that, drop the yes, sirs, because we did hit 200 likes. Drop the yes, sirs.
Yes, sir. He's on fire.
Yes, sir. Wake him up. Play some defense. Play some defense. All right, let me see if I can get this other game up on here. Like I said, y'all, I'm trying to watch my guy Yaks in the national championship. Let's see if we can actually watch this game here. Have it up at the same time. Do a little splitsies. Imagine RB calling 2 games at once. They need to pay me more for that, bro. All right, let's see if we can pull this bad boy up. Shout out to Michigan and UConn. Let's see if we can get this bad boy up. Hopefully we don't start lagging. Guys, let me know where you're tabbing in from in the chat. State, cities, countries, towns, etc. Wemby is back in the game now. He's in the huddle. So it looks like Wemby's going to be fine. So Stephon Castle, Wemby, and Joel are all back in the building. All right, let's see who we got in the chat. We got Spring City in the house. We have Mexico City, South Jersey in the chat. Northeast Philly, South Jersey, Upper Darby. Who else we got up in here? Walt Whitman crew. What's up? 676 stand up. Germantown in the building. Northeast. Central Jersey. Australia in the house. Bucks County. ATL. Philippines. Ben Salem in the chat. Virginia in the house. Bucks County. North Carolina. Tennessee. Beverly. Lancaster. We're all over the place, man. Woo! Fishtown in the chat. Hunting Park, Ave, Uptown, Denver, Stroudsburg. Let's go. You guys are new, man. We do this every single game. Thank you for dropping it like it's hot. Drop that spot. Joel gets double teamed. Maxi wings the VJ, threw it over his head, right through the fingertips, and it's going to be a turnover back to San Antonio. Maxi has struggled mightily tonight. 0 of 4, 5 dimes, 2 turnovers, but 0 points in 12 minutes. Guys, get us to 300 likes by halftime. Let's do it. Y'all are crushing it right now, man. We do this every game. We do other games as well, so make sure you stay tapped in for the playoffs. Harper a 3, and it's money. Cha-ching. Spurs lead it by 8. They are 8 of 12 here in the second. You guys know my theory, though. You guys know my theory, don't you? Real ones, drop it in the chat. What is my theory right now in the Sixers? Bad second quarter equals great third quarter. Oubre floats it up and in. Anytime they have a dog crap second quarter, they come back and actually play good in the third quarter. So if that's what it's going to take, that's what it's going to take. Vassell fouled. Actually, it was Cornette that was fouled. And it's going to be on, I think, Kelly Oubre. Oubre now up to 2 personals. By the way, hold on, let me hold that thought. Here's Julian Champagny for 3. It's short. Oubre picks it up. He wanted a foul. Here comes Tyrese Maxey. 6-point game, 5:40 to go here in the second. Maxey going to drive and kick. VJ on the baseline. VJ up through contact. Finishes at the rim. Big time strong finish for VJ Edgecombe. And we have a timeout on the floor. 5:30 to go. It is a 4-point game. Like I said in the pregame show, like I said, you never know what version of the Sixers is going to come out. They're playing well against the Spurs. Why? They got dog walked by the Pistons without Cade. Now they're playing well. You never know. This is a wild card team. But let's take a check-in over on the Atlanta Hawks game. They are currently down by 2 at the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, the Magic are blowing out the Pistons. That's pretty crazy. I mean, the Magic have not been able to win anything lately. They're blowing out the Pistons in the third. And the Hawks are down by 2. So we need to hope the Knicks can beat the Hawks today. If that happens and the Sixers win, then the Sixers will be 1 game behind Atlanta with 3 games to go. So, listen, man. Starting to look like a stretch for that 5 seed, but the Sixers need to win and the Hawks need to lose. So we'll keep our eyes on that. We're watching the national championship here. We got the Sixers and the Spurs. What better of a night could it be? Once again, this is the Sixers Game Day Live. We give you this coverage every game, pregame, live game, postgame. And we break it all down for the fans. We try to have everybody get involved. We want you to comment down in that chat. We want you to feel engaged, man. Let's give a shout out to some of the channel members in here, man. Shouts to the members. Fire Take Goats in the house. It means they've been a member for a year or more. AG's in the house. I see you, AG. Busy B, what's up? Who else we got up in here? Fire Take MVP, Estelle. We got Don Boyle, a goat. We have, who else? What else we got? Sparrow, what's going on, man? Go Birds. Shout out to you. Hunter says, hold the spoilers till RB calls you. Yeah, guys, please do not spoil the game, man, till I call it. Let's not spoil the game till I make the call. Cool J says, hearing that we have to root for the Knicks makes me sick. I hear you, man. I hear you. So Joel's up to 11-5 on the night. Paul George 12-2-1. Edgecombe with 7. Let's see. Castle with 10. Wemby with 9. What else we got up in here, man? Bobby says, love you, RB. What's up, man? Been a sub since 3K. That's amazing, man. Thank you. Been here almost 5 years, member for 3 years. Let's go, Lou. Shout out to Lou, man. Don Boyle, member for 28 months. Let's go, bro. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Dom Boyle says, I am a goat. You the goat, Dom. Shout out to the members. All right, let's see what the score is looking like. So Michigan's up 9-4. My thing was like rewinding. I don't know what happened there, but. So now Wemby's at the line. Guess I missed that, but he got fouled. First one is off by Wemby. Dead Stu, member for 1 month, says should be 2 months. Let's go, Stu. Thank you so much for being a channel member, man. Thank you so much, man. If the chats get too heavy in the playoffs, we might have to go members only chat for a bit. Wemby's going to miss the second one. Streets are telling me that my guy Yaxel's just a decoy right now. They're saying he's not really doing much. Trying to keep my eye on it over here. VJ guarded by Vassell. VJ going to find Joel. Joel. Here's Tyrese Maxey. Maxey coming around his screen. Now back the other way. 3 on the shot clock. Oubre contested 3. Not a good shot selection. Spurs pick it up. Here comes Vassell. Vassell into Wemby. And Wemby just reverse dunked it like it was brushing your teeth in the morning. Are you kidding me? Did he really just do that? That's ridiculous. Joel for 3. No good. Come on, Joe. Take to the paint. Champagne in stride, a 3. That's short. Right now it is brick after brick after brick. Here's Joel. Now Grimes around the screen. Back the other way. Grimes against Wemby. Gives back to Joel. Joel in front of the perimeter. Joel going to drive against Wemby. Joel floats it up. Got it. Let's go, Joel. Joel heard me, man. Joel heard me. Let's go. All he had to do was listen to me. Dylan Harper going to find Julian Champagny. 4 to play here in the second. Keldon Johnson. Here's the pull-up, mid-range. Can't get it for Harper. Sixers have it, down by 4. Both teams in the bonus. Maxey going to find Embiid, back to Maxey. Maxey the other way. He drives. Maxey, bounce to Embiid. Embiid from the nail. Got it again! Yeah. Vassell. Here's Keldon Johnson from 3 in the corner. Misses it short. Here comes Quentin Grimes. Grimes up the floor. Maxey the pump fake. The drive. Grimes. Oubre. Grimes. Grimes for 3. Off the mark. 3:08 to go here in the second. Here's Dylan Harper. He's going to find Vassell. Now Wemby in the corner. The jab, the drive. Wemby the left hand. He's posting up. Does a half spin against Joel. Floats it in off the bank. Fouled and 1. And 1. Wemby to the stripe for another. Guys, if you have not yet, hit the like button, please. It helps push us through the algorithm, helps us soar into more people's feeds on YouTube. 580 people in here right now. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you are watching this stream right now, you're the best. Thank you, man. $2 Super Chat. Philly for Life says beat is locked in, RB. Time to hoop, baby. Let's go, Joel. Let's see what my guy Yaxel's doing over here, man. Michigan's up 9-4. Both teams are struggling offensively, man. Wemby made the free throw, so he's 2 of 4 at the stripe. VJ pull up mid-range. Misses it off the cylinder. Here come the Spurs. Harper the other way. VJ got a hand on it. Spurs trying to get it back. Sixers battling for it. Spurs are on the ground. Harper under the rim and lays it in. Come on, man. Come on, man. Joel driving against Wemby. Oops it up to himself. Dunks it off the rim. I don't know what the heck that was. I don't know what the heck is going on. Mr. Scum says, not to brag, I would say South Jersey is the best basketball prospect. Shout out to my guy Yax, man. Yeah, I told you guys about him last year on this live show. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about. We were talking about Michigan, about Yaxel, South Jersey product. Hooped with him a few times. I've definitely gotten a bucket on him. Now he's in the national championship. I'm happy for him. Could the Sixers draft him? Maybe. Yeah, this is a really low-scoring game. There's, what are they, 6 minutes in? It's 9-4. Yeah, who's been tapped in all season, man? Who's been tapped in? Yeah, Yax was definitely injured, bro. My man's not moving smooth at all. Sorry, let me lock in here. There's a 3-ball from Wemby. Unbelievable. By the way, Joel did make both. Dude, Wemby's not even a human being. Joel's not even human, bro. I'm sorry. Wemby's not human. Joel's not human. But Wemby's from outer space. Here's Maxey going to find VJ. VJ in the corner. Drives against Vassell. Kicks out to Edwards. Edwards for 3. Too much on it. Spurs lead it by 8. 1:40 to go. Here in the first half. Wemby a pull-up 3. Just missed it that time. It goes out of bounds. It is crazy how Joel was like limping for the first 8 minutes. Well, the first 5 and then the next 3. Dude, this is insane. Joel's got 17. Started hooping. Here's Paul George, who has cooled off here in the second. Finds Maxey, wings to VJ. Now Joel again. Joel against Wemby. Joel a step back 3. Joel! Oh! Oh, give him 20. Yo! That was some James Harden step back 3. What in the world? Johnson floats it up and in. Still not playing defense. Bruh. Did Joel just hit a James Harden step back? Bro. So the Sixers missed it on the other end, and then Spurs missed it. I think they got Embiid for a foul. They called Embiid for his second personal. Oubre's got 3. Guys, I can't believe, like, look, as much as we talk about Joel and, you know, how much he gets hurt and things like that, he's just a special talent, man. I mean, like, you can't deny that Joel is like one of the best talents at the center position ever. He just is fragile, you know, but he's unbelievable as a talent. It's just crazy. $2 super chat. Philly for life says, what is T-Max doing? No way he only has that many. Yeah, he's got 0. Maxey has not been comfortable all night. You know what it is, man? As Johnson hits the free throws, any guard that travels like remotely inside the paint, just like a couple inches, they just see Wemby's 10-foot arm tree branch that's about to block their shot. That's why guards struggle so much against the Spurs. Paul George going to drive the lane. He is fouled under the rim. Any guard that's like 6'4" or under, once they get into the paint, they just see Wemby, and it's like, yeah, we're just not comfortable at all. Where are we at now? 240, that's it? Yo, get us to 300. Let's go, chat. Let's go, man. Welcome in. Sixers Game Day Live. We do it every single game. Pregame, live game, and postgame. First one good at the line for Paul George. Both teams have been in the bonus here for the last 6 minutes of the second. Maxey has 0 points. What is he doing? I mean, he has 7 assists, but only 4 shot attempts. Sixers have really just relied on Joel and PG in this first half, mostly. But yeah, Maxey's got to get going. Paul George misses the second free throw. Sixers have missed a lot of free throws tonight. Stephon Castle, time for one more. 8 on the game clock. Shot clock unplugged. Castle around a screen. He goes behind the back. He turns. He spins. Castle for 2. Can't get it. And that is where we are at here at the end of the first half. It is 62-55. A very, very weird first half is how I kind of view this game. Welcome in, Halftime Live. I can't believe we're already here, man, but give me your thoughts in the chat. You know what we do every game at halftime. Thank you all for being here. Almost 600 people in here right now. Y'all are amazing. Give me one word. Give me one word in the chat right now to describe this game. How do you feel about this game? You could sum it all up in a nutshell in one word. What would it be? How would you summarize this game? Give me some takes in the chat, and we'll read out some of them, and we will react. Philly for life, $2 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, Maxey gets to shooting some threes, we would be up by a lot. I don't know if I'd say that because, you know, who knows if he'd be making them. He's only taken 1. But I think the Sixers I think Embiid started to find a groove for sure, but he can't just be the only guy. You know, it goes back to that dilemma of like, all right, Embiid can dominate for so much, so long, but you got to get everybody else, you know, up and going. Paul George had 11 in the first quarter right away, and then he barely touches the ball after that. So it's about finding that rhythm, you know, but Maxey definitely has to score. Maxey has to score. Anyway, I got a word for you guys. I'm going to give it to you on the other side. Give me your words in the chat. Give me your main takes of this game so far. We'll talk about the good and the bad and whether or not the Sixers can win this ball game. And we'll take a check-in on March Madness as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, got to give another shout out to our great partners of the show over at National University. Great presenting partners of the show. If you haven't checked out National University, you have to do it because they are an accredited nonprofit university giving you the support to balance your life. If you felt overwhelmed or, you know, it's too hard to go back to school, you're not in a groove anymore, well, guess what? You can go to school from the comfort of anywhere, even your own home. They have flexible 4, 8, and 12-week online classes designed to make pursuing your education achievable. They offer the most comprehensive degree program options in the U.S. for working and non-traditional students, and the vast majority of their student base are working students with an average of 33 years old for undergrad, 39 for graduate. Let's go. So again, they got you covered, man. You want to go back to school? They have over 150 degree areas, programs, certificates to choose from They have education, business, marketing, healthcare, psychology, social sciences, engineering, tech, and more. They are a veteran-founded university that last year awarded nearly $55 million in scholarships and tuition reductions. They have customized education plans that include adaptive instruction and holistic student support. They also offer mental health counseling as well to help provide support for your academic career. They empower learners to balance work, family, and school. So if you are interested in checking out their flexible online curriculum and program offerings, click the link down in the description or the live chat. Get more info today. Shout out to National University, a proud partner of Philly Take with RB for the last 2 years. Speaking of getting schooled, man, the Sixers continue to get schooled on defense. My word of this game is pretty confusing. That's my word, confusing. And I'll tell you why. My word is confusing because, number one, the Sixers, it feels like, have not played that good of a game. But at the same time, they're only down by 7. And I did say that the Sixers could keep this competitive. You know, they're only down 7. They're keeping it competitive. I think part of that is Wemby going off the floor for 10 minutes or whatever it was. But, you know, it's confusing because it doesn't feel like the Sixers have really played that well. I mean, they've been awful defensively. But how do you feel about this game? My word is confusing. $5 Super Chat, Philly for life. Thank you so much. Says, regardless, Maxey has to get going. PG has to have the ball more. They step up with some help from VJ and three-point shooting, and we have a chance to win. I like it. Good takes, man. Let's see. A couple other words in here. I see chaotic. Good word. Good word. Peculiar. Electric. Wonky. What else? What else? Calamity. Hesitation. Joella fictional. Okay, we're making up words. I like it. Oscillating. Okay, good word. Good word. What else? We got any other words? Chat is moving, man. Y'all are amazing, bro. Get us to 300 likes, man, so we can wake up the neighbors. Any other words we got in here? Befuddled. What else? Defense. Defense is a good word to describe the game because there hasn't been any from the 76ers. And yeah, it's been a very strange game, I would say. It's been a bit strange because the 76ers have not played any interior defense. They've been cooked in transition. I would look up the stat right now, but I don't want to change this March Madness game on my phone. Let's see if I can look up the transition buckets because Sixers have been getting cooked in transition. Let's see what it is. So they're saying 11-8 on the fast break. I feel like it's been a little more than that. 34-22 in the paint. I would assume the Spurs second chance probably have some more. But the rebounds are close. The Spurs are shooting 33% from 3 while the Sixers are at 38. Both teams can't seem to hit all their free throws tonight, so it is close. Yeah, I think Wemby going out for that 8 to 10 minute stretch really hurt them. Wemby, in case you guys are just tuning in looking for some quick recap so far. So Joel got hurt a couple minutes into the game. He was limping around. He came back in the game. And then after that, Stephon Castle went down for 3 to 4 minutes. He came back in the game. He's playing. And then you had Victor Wembanyama, who got hit on the shoulder. He went out for 8 minutes, came back in. So that's kind of how this game has been going so far. A couple injuries, couple weird stretches. Let's see if I can look this up. Let's see what the second chance is. They're saying the Spurs only have 3 second chance ones. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I think they have more. But anyway. Yeah, so Spurs have 18 assists on 25 made shots. I just feel like the Wemby thing. How many minutes did he play? He's got 17 points, played 16 minutes. Yeah, so he probably missed about like 6 to 8 minutes. Let's see. Anything else I want to say about this game? I think Paul George needs to get the ball more. I think VJ needs to touch the ball more, but these are things that I say a lot. So it's just me repeating. Champagne's got 0. Vassell only has 5. Harper's got 9 off the bench. Johnson with 6. So, yeah. Let's see. Anything else we got in this game? Chat is still flying, man. Chat is flying. Thank you all for being here, man. I really appreciate it. I am keeping an eye on this March Madness game, which is very close right now. My guy Axel seems to be injured, so he's not playing well. But we're still watching it. Busy Bee says, son, I'm weak. What happened? What happened? What, did I miss the joke? I don't know. I see people hating on Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to the Maxey hate, bro. He had 0 points in the first half. Didn't play well. Maxey usually has a run every game where, he drops like 12 points in 4 minutes. So, Maxey will be fine. Sovereign says 500 in the chat. Hit the like button. RB blessing us with the Sixers Community Podcast. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, man. I don't think anybody's doing it like this community. I really don't. We give you the live game call. We give you the play-by-play. We give you the breakdown. We give you the live stats. We give you all the coverage that you need right at your fingertips. So let's go, man. Let's go, man. Get his head out of the clouds. Who are we talking about? Maxey? Yeah, Maxey's got to get going, though. He will. He's got 7 dimes, though. He has contributed. He has 7 assists, so I think the Sixers bench still needs to be better. Quentin Grimes, everybody wants to swear by him. I think Grimes needs to do more if he can. Sparrow says we need Yaxel to slide in the draft so we can get him. He might, honestly. Shout out to my guy, man. Sixers drafted Morez Johnson. What say you? I'd rather take my guy Yaxel. Maxey's fine. We need him to find more shots as a team. I agree. That goes back to what I'm saying in terms of like building a system, I think VJ should be getting more shots too. There was a couple plays there where VJ had a mid-range pull-up and he knocked it down with ease. So, yeah, I think they just got to find shots for everybody. I think Wemby's on a different planet. 17, 5, and assists and 3 blocks. Thankfully, the shooters have been off for San Antonio, but if they get going, watch out. So we'll see what happens. But, like I said, man, the second quarter curse. Sixers got outscored 33-27. It wasn't that bad. So, usually they have a really bad second quarter, then they have a great third quarter. We will see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how everybody looks. Are they healthy? Are they good to go? We'll figure it out. Chad, how are we feeling, man? How are we feeling? I might not even leave at this halftime. I might just keep watching this game going on here. Interesting game so far. A lot going on in the sports world tonight. Scum says, I feel like Maxey's going to turn up in the third. I think he can too. I think we're due for a Maxey run. I just think playing against Wemby makes it really hard to score in the paint. That's why they got to force Wemby to get out of the paint. They got to force Wemby outside a little bit, but not with Joel chucking threes. I feel like Yaxel's playing the tourney solidified a spot in the lotto. I don't know if he's going to go that high just because of his age, but obviously I'm being biased, right? Because I know him and, I used to whatever, hoop with him a few times. But I think he's a really good player. I think he would fit the Sixers mold really well. By the way, the UConn-Michigan game is 18-17 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. That's crazy, bro. They're not scoring anything. Michigan is the first team ever to score 90-plus in the first 5 straight games of the tournament. And right now they're at 17. I like the fight, just need Maxey to get going offensively. I agree, honestly. It's crazy how the Sixers are in this game. But then again, guys, I'm just being honest with you. Just being honest. The Spurs are a really good team. There have been times in this first half where they went up by like 9 or 10. It does feel like they are able to put their foot on your throat when they want to. So we're talking about, the Spurs haven't shot that well, 33% from 3, but they are up by 7. And they haven't really withered at all. They feel like they're still in control of the game. So the Spurs can probably turn it on, but we'll see if they do that or not. Busy says, sorry, let me not crash out. Why are you crashing out, Busy? What's going on? Talk to your boy. What's going on? Shout out to the mod squad, man. Shout out to the members. We need 18 more likes. Let's go. 500 in the chat. Y'all are slacking right now, man. Let's see how this game's going. 19-18 now. Like I said, you can't put it past UConn, man. They've won 2 out of the last 3 championships. They have championship DNA, as you could say. Dan Hurley is a heck of a coach. Me and you talked about hoping he would slide in the second this past draft. We knew he was going to explode. Oh, 100%, man. I'm really happy for him. Really happy that he not only got paid at Michigan, but also just elevated his game, man. Shout out to him. But yeah, Michigan probably has 3 guys that could go in the first round. Chat stressing me out, RB. What's going on, Busy? Who do I need to time out? Oh, dang, we're starting the third quarter already? Maxey behind the back to Embiid. Victor Wembanyama is not on the floor to begin the second half, ladies and gentlemen. Wemby is not on the floor. This is a big development, ladies and gentlemen. Maxey just got fouled going to the rim. Let's take a look over on the Atlanta Hawks game. Maxey's going to knock down the shot. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrese Maxey's on the board. Maxey is on the board. And so is my guy Yaxel. He just hit his first free throw as well. Yaxel's on the board. Maxey's on the board. Maxey knocks down both. Let's see. The Knicks are up by 2 with 5 seconds to play, ladies and gentlemen. We got too much going on right here. Knicks are up by 2 with 5 seconds left. We need the Knicks to beat the Hawks. Fox down low, poked away. PG up to VJ. VJ to the corner. Maxey finds Joel. Joel off balance, and he was fouled. Yo, if the Knicks win this game, the Sixers have to capitalize right here. If you can't beat the Spurs without Wemby on the floor, come on, man. Joel's talking his talk to somebody. Trying to pay attention to 4 things at one time right now. Let me know what's happening with the Knicks game if anybody has it on. Let's see, 104-102. Joel going to knock down the first at the line. Let's go, chat. Can we get some, fires in the chat, man? Let's see who the MVPs are in the chat, bro. Let's get some MVPs going in the chat. Come on. What's up, man? Joel going to knock down a pair. So once again, no Wemby on the floor right now. 62-59 is the score now after the free throws. Vassell up top to Castle. Castle crossover against Oubre, drives the lane, goes up, and it's blocked by Joel. Blocked by Embiid. Here come the 76ers. Embiid, Paul George, pull up for three. Bang! Paul George, trifecta!
He's on fire!
PG, tell me that you're back, bro. Tell me that you're back, PG. PG, I'm sorry about anything I've ever said about you, man. PG, you are cooking right now, brother. Fox for three. No good. Cornette the rebound. He boxed out Joel. He missed the layup. Spurs get it back for a third attempt. And Fox has an easy layup. Come on, fellas. We got a rebound now. We got a rebound, fellas. Yo, feed Paul George. I can't believe I'm actually saying those words, man. Feed PG. Joel, dribble handoff. Here's PG. PG gets double teamed. He drives, kicks back. Joel pulls up, contested three. Cha-ching! Show 'em what you're made of. Sixers take the lead. 65-64. Castle turning, spinning. Fox. Crossover beats Oubre, kicks out to the corner. Julian Champagnie hits his first three of the night. Tough time for that one. But it's Julian Champagnie, as I like to call him. Maxey turns it over right back to the Spurs. Champagnie floats it up and lays it in again. That's a quick five for Champagnie, who called out the Sixers yesterday saying, "Thank you for cutting me. You made my career." He actually did say that. The Knicks are up by 4 now with 5 seconds to go. PG behind the back. He drives. PG steps back. Pull up mid-range short again. Devin Vassell. Yo, Joe! Bro. Joel. Joel just walked up he was jogging up the floor and let up a wide open layup. Are you kidding me, Joel? Joel, if you're not healthy, bro, get off the floor. For real. Come on, bro. Maxey, wide open three. Misses it. Vassell, Fox, wide open for three. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. Y'all can't even beat the Spurs without Wemby? Victor Wembanyama, breaking news, has been ruled out for the remainder of the game with a rib contusion. Wemby is out for the game, and the Sixers can't win anyway. The Hawks just hit a three against New York. It's now 106-105. So here's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Wembanyama is out for the rest of the game with a rib injury. Hopefully he's okay. Haters will try to say that Joel did something to him. Watch. The Knicks are up 106-105 with 1.5 seconds to play against the Hawks. If the Knicks win that game, the Sixers need to win this game. And this is a perfect opportunity with Wemby out. But the Sixers are now down by 9. Too much going on right now, man. Too much going on right now. I just saw Joel in the last couple possessions walk up the floor on a fast break layup. Didn't even try to contest it. They're not giving Paul George the ball after he hits a couple big threes. Maxi's 0 of 5. I don't know what Maxi's doing tonight. Is the Knicks game over? Did they win? Let's see what's going on here. .2 seconds. Did they get fouled? Okay, they got fouled. Sixers have to win this game, bro. All right, here we go. Let's see if the Sixers can do something out of the timeout. Spurs on a 10-0 run. Here's VJ Edgecombe around a screen. VJ with the ball, trying to find Maxey. He finds Joel. Joel's got Luke Cornett. Joel jabs, puts it up, and the ball goes over the backboard. It's an out of bounds. Ay, ay, ay. So Wemby exits with 17-5 and 3 blocks, a rib contusion. He's done for the night. Here's Champagne. Going to find Cornett. Can't get the layup on the cut. Here come the Sixers. VJ down the lane. Finds Maxey. Maxey for 3. Cha-ching! There it is. Needed it. Needed it. 6-point game now. Fox throws it away. Turned over. Sixers get it back. That's what I like to see, man. That's what I like to see. We got the Knicks up by 3. We have the Magic up by 16 against the Pistons, about to beat them. Paul George behind the back. Joel had it plucked away. Gets it back. 12 on the shot clock. Joel. PG around a screen. Downhill. Turns. Fades. Paul George can't get it. Joel taps it. Just missed it off the railing. Castle down the other way. Poked by PG and a foul. Oh, we got 300 likes too. We got to hit the yes sirs, man. Let's see y'all flood in the yes sir in the chat. Let's go. Paul George looked like he hit Wemby in the shoulder, and they're saying he has a rib contusion, so I don't know what's going on there. All right, the Knicks have beat the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go. Vassell puts up the mid-range and hits it. So the Knicks have officially beat the Hawks. Hold on, let's make sure we update this. VJ Edgecombe at the top, guarded by Dylan Harper, back in the game. Second pick versus the third pick. VJ trying to get in his bag. VJ, pull up. Oh, what a shot by VJ Edgecombe. So the Knicks have beat the Atlanta Hawks, which means Sixers need to win this game to be a game back of Atlanta with 3 to go. Cornett was fouled on the alley-oop by VJ. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like, what's his name? Scott Hansen. I feel like I'm on Red Zone right now, bro. Maybe I got to make the Red Zone of the NBA, bro. I'm watching like 4 different games right now. UConn's beating Michigan right now by 2. Someone punched him in the ribs off camera, says Don Boyle. Let's go, chat. Drop those yes sirs, baby. Let's go. Give us some energy in the chat. Yes, sir. Wake them up. Wake up the damn neighbors. Yo, they're going to be mad during the playoffs, bro. We're going to have some big live chats in here for sure. Y'all are crushing it tonight. Let's get to 400 now. Let's go, chat. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods. Free throws are good. 78-70. Spurs lead it. Dude, Sixers, this is a perfect opportunity without Wemby, man. Sixers got to wake up here and go on a run. VJ wide open for 3. Just missed it. Here come the Spurs. Harper drives the lane. There's a guy wide open. Guy wide open. Castle for 3. Bro. Put me in the coaching room, bro. Put me in the film room. Why do y'all keep crashing the ball, man? Every game. Y'all keep doing this every game. Castle's about to have a triple-double. Joel was fouled by Cornette. I literally called it out. I was like, yo, there's a dude open at the top of the arc. Did y'all see that too? Did you guys, wherever you, if you're watching the game and listening to me, first off, if you do that, shout out to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Did you call it out as at your television or iPad or whatever as well? The same way I called it out? I mean, I can see this happening from a mile away. Guard the 3-point line. Joel going to knock down the first free throw. Now they're showing where Wemby got hurt, I guess, against Joel. Get out of here. Joel didn't even hit him in the ribs. Wemby grimaced, but that was not Joel's fault. Joel defended him, maybe put a hand on his chest. That was about it. Get out of here, bro. And Joel is going to knock down both at the line. Now Luke Cornette has 4 fouls. That could be huge, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Cornette is on the bench with 4 fouls. Wemby is out for the game. So now the Spurs are going to have to go with a small ball lineup. This is huge. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. The Spurs are going small ball because they don't have any other bigs. Remember what I said in the pregame show, how they have a lack of depth a little bit? So they have Carter Bryant, Keldon Johnson, Stephen Castle, Devin Vassell, and Dylan Harper. It's a 5-man small ball. Barlow's in the game for Philly. Grimes is in the game. Edgecombe, PG, and Joel round out the 5. Spurs have 8 players averaging double digits scoring. Here's Devin Vassell. Vassell off balance 3, way off the mark, and it's a shot clock violation. He just had to chuck one up. .538 to go here in the third. This is a huge golden opportunity, man. Paul George at the logo. He's guarded by Stephen Castle. Maxey, we got to get you going when you get back in, man. Paul George had it poked away by Johnson. Like I said, guys, the Spurs are not only top 5 in offensive rating, but they're 3rd in defensive rating too. They play basketball, man. Got to get some plays running here to get open. BJ, a contested 3, not even close. Joel gets the offensive rebound, floats it up. He falls to the ground. And I guess they called a foul on Castle. 610 people in the chat. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, one time for your boy. If you enjoy this type of coverage, if you enjoy this analysis, game call, etc., hit that subscribe button as well. We do this every single game. Busy B says, I wish Embiid would stay off the floor. They're not ready for that combo. Castle, 4th personal foul, by the way. He's now in foul trouble as well. So Castle and Cornette both off the floor with 4. Joel just got ran over on a screen. It's going to be a foul on Carter Bryant. So the Sixers are now in the bonus with 5:10 to go. This is a massive opportunity for the 76ers. In case you guys are just tuning in, y'all are tuning in, the New York Knicks beat the Atlanta Hawks, meaning that the Sixers are now a game and a half behind Atlanta. If the Sixers win tonight, they will be 1 game behind Atlanta with 3 to go. Joel going to knock down the first. So no Wembanyama for the rest of the game. This is a massive opportunity for the Sixers to capitalize. This is about to show us who this Sixers team is, man. This is your opportunity. If you can't win this game, you don't deserve it. Plus the Magic one, so they're creeping up too. Joel going to go 2 of 2 at the line. Maxi's got to get going when he gets back in the game. They have to get a Maxi run in the fourth quarter. Simple as that. Here's Dylan Harper. He's going to step back over Barlow. Left it short. Nice board by PG. Joel's got 29 and 10 on the night now. Here's VJ Edgecombe going to find Joel. He's got Carter Bryant. It's a mismatch. Let's go. Let's go. Joel driving, spinning, fading over 2. Can't get it. Barlow, nice rebound. Grimes, VJ for 3. Short. Grimes had an open 3. Didn't take the shot. Here come the Spurs. Vassell 3. Grimes tapped it away. They're going to say out on the Sixers. And now I think they're going to switch it back to out on the Spurs. So I think it's going to be Sixers basketball. Should be, at least. Here's Paul George. George guarded by Bryant, the rookie out of Arizona. Paul George crossover drives against Vassell. Ooh, nice dime, and Barlow there in the dunker spot to flush it home. What a dime by Paul George. 4:07 to play here in the third. It is a 5-point basketball game, and this is your chance. This is your chance. Let's go. Drop some fires in the chat. Let's get the energy up, man. Drop the Paul George emojis. That was an awesome dime. As bad as Joel is playing defensively, he does have 3 blocks, and he does have 29 and 10. So at least he's making up for it offensively. The shooters, though, and specifically Tyrese Maxey's got to get going here. I mean, 6 shot attempts is wild for Tyrese Maxey. Like, there's just no way you can get Maxey taken out of the game like this, and especially with Wemby being out now, like, you got to get Maxey going downhill. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, like I said, the Hawks lost, so now the Sixers have a huge opportunity right here. And the Magic won, so they're creeping up. Michigan up by 5 with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Don Boyle says Nurse had an unconscious Kawhi Leonard and an all-time great team. He got lucky that year. 4-bounce shot got them through it. You know what, man? Like, I don't want to take anything away from the Raptors and Nick Nurse, but that year, right? Like you said, 4-bouncer against the Sixers. They beat the Bucks, who I believe went up 2-0 on them in the conference finals. Then they won 4 straight. And then in the finals, KD got injured. Clay got injured. So they beat a banged-up Warriors team. Just saying, right? I mean, things happen year to year. But yeah, they did have a favorable path to the finals. If the Sixers win tonight, they can jump to number 5. They wouldn't jump to number 5 tonight, but they would be 1 game behind the Atlanta Hawks, which would make it very possible that they do end up getting the 5 seed. But they got to take advantage here. If the Sixers lose this game tonight, then they go back to being 2 games out with 3 games left, and it gets very, very difficult at that point. So if they want any chance at the 5 seed, this is your opportunity. All right, here we go, man. 4 to play in the third quarter. Here's the drive and the block by Joel Embiid. That's number 4 on the night. 4 blocks for Joel Embiid. Here's the inbound to Carter Bryant. He drives downhill against Joel. Swings it out top. Johnson turning and spinning. Johnson against Barlow. Johnson floats it up. Can't get it from about 6 feet. Sixers have it. 3:40 to go in the third. PG with the rock. PG to Barlow to VJ. The drive downhill. The Euro step floats it up short. It's an air ball for VJ Edgecombe. Harrison Barnes on the corner for three. Left it short. Try to get his board. Kicks it out. Here's a three from Johnson. No good. Spurs are struggling from beyond. Spurs have been struggling most of the night. Here's Joel off balance, floats it up and gets the whistle, and Mitch Johnson is pissed. So I was listening to an interview here. They were interviewing my guy Yax. He pretty much said, I'm like playing through an injury and played soft in the first half. Respect. 700 people in the chat. Let's go, man. Let's go. Get us up to 400 likes. Let's go, guys. Like the show, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all. We do this every game, and we do this for other games as well. A lot of streams coming up in the playoffs. Big game for the Sixers right here, man. Joel going to knock down at the line. Yo, drop the 30s, man. Drop the 30s, man. Joel's got 31 and 11 all of a sudden. Joel's got 31. We can say whatever we want about Joel. He's got 30, man. De'Aaron Fox drives against Joel, floats it up, and now we got a foul on Joel Embiid. That's going to be number 2 on Joel. So if the Sixers lose tonight, they will be back into the 7 seed by themselves. They'd also be tied with Charlotte and Orlando. So if the Sixers lose tonight, Toronto jumps back up to 6, and the Sixers will be the 7 seed, and they'll be tied with the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic, but they do hold a tiebreaker over those 2 teams. Fox going to miss the second free throw. It's a 3-point game. Somehow, some way, the Sixers are right here with an opportunity. I mean, this is a game you got to win if you're serious, bro. Like, you're right here. Here's Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is finally back in the game. He's played 25 minutes tonight. Joel for 3. Airballs it. Barlow the rebound. Grimes drives the lane. Had it poked away. Come on, Grimes. Come on, Grimes. Here's Dylan Harper, guarded by VJ Edgecombe now. 10 on the shot clock. Harper, Bryant. Here's Keldon Johnson driving, crossover to the left hand. He spins. The right hand floats it up and gets it to go. Back to a 5-point ball game. Maxey one-on-one now against Fox. Let's go. You got to be aggressive. Maxey around a screen. Going to drive. Float it up. Misses it. And Barlow puts it back. What a finish by Dominic Barlow on the offensive rebound. Taps it in. Fox to the corner. Wide open 3. Bryant luckily misses it, but Johnson gets the rebound. Joel, you're killing me, man. I know you're dominating offensively, but grab a rebound, Joe. Come on, man. You got to box that out. Sixers' biggest issue every year is rebounding. Like, they never address it. I don't understand. Maxey coming around a screen, finds VJ. VJ steps into 1 and gets it to go. 2-point ball game. That is a big-time shot for 3J Edgecombe. 1 minute to go here in the third. Johnson against Grimes. Keldon Johnson downhill, and he's fouled again by Quentin Grimes. We got a cardiac game in store, ladies and gentlemen. Cardiac game, man. Ay, 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 man. Dude, this game is like all over the place. I don't even know how it's a 3-point game, but it is. Let's go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Welcome in Sixer Game Day Live, presented by National University. Free throw is good for Keldon Johnson. He goes 1 of 2 at the stripe. It's a 4-point game. Maxey bringing it up the floor now. Maxey going to drive the lane, reverse light, got it to go. Nice English on that by Maxey. Spurs run it all the way up the floor, and Lindy Waters is going to draw the foul. See, that's what you can't do, man. Spurs are running it all the way up the floor in like 2 seconds. Got to get back on defense, man. Got to get back on defense. Come on, man. First one good for Lindy Waters. 47 seconds to play here in the third. Who will win this game? So the Spurs get another 2 at the free throw line. 40 seconds to go here in the third. 89-85. Maxey coming around a screen. Maxey now back the other way. Maxey, nowhere to go. Spurs are up in his grill. Harrison Barnes against them. Maxey going to Euro step, floated high in the air. Can't get the floater. Barlow somehow saved it. And now the Sixers reset. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Barlow dribbling, turns the corner, drives. Barlow tried to dunk it, and he missed. He missed the two-handed slam. Here come the Spurs. Guard the three-point line. Fox against Grimes. Wide open 3, Harper. Bro. Stop crashing the ball. Holy crap. Bro, it does not take a NBA champion coach to figure this out, bro. It does not. That is the main issue on defense, man. Bro, stop crashing the ball, bro. Stop. Seven-point game. We head to the fourth quarter. Cardiac hoops in effect. Guys, give me your thoughts in the chat. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, man? About crashing the ball and leaving shooters wide open. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, man? Big opportunity for the 76ers. As the Hawks have lost tonight, Sixers are trying to get a game back of Atlanta and stay in the 6th seed. This is your opportunity. Now, I got to school the Sixers real quick, but also I got to tell you about school, man. One more final shout out to our great partners of the show. If you want to get schooled the way the 76ers get schooled by leaving shooters wide open on the wing, you got to check out National University. They will give you a great education. They will give you a great schooling, just like the Spurs did shooting at the end of that quarter, wide open threes. Anyway, in all seriousness, man, shout out to National University. Their programs are designed for people juggling multiple responsibilities. Flexible 4, 8, and 12-week online classes designed to make pursuing your education achievable. They have the most comprehensive degree and program options in the U.S. for working and non-traditional students. With over 150 degree programs, they have areas of study including education, business, marketing, healthcare, psychology, social sciences, engineering, tech, criminal justice, and more. They awarded nearly $55 million in scholarships last year. New year, new goals, new you. If you want to level up, get that next degree. Take your job to the next level. Check out National University. They allow you to go to school from the comfort of your own home. They don't make you choose between school, life, personal stuff, and everything else. You don't have to press pause on life to learn. Check out National University. They have a 50-year history of innovative learning and support models for working and non-traditional students. Click their link down in the description or the live chat. Get more info today. And shout out to National University, a great partner of Philly Take with RB for the last 2 years. You know what, man? I think I'm going to go to National and I'm going to ask them if I can teach a course on defensive fundamentals, learning how to not crash the lane on a dribble drive and leave a wide open shooter from 3. That's my thought. There's a step back from De'Aaron Fox, hits it, and the Spurs lead it by 9. By the way, did Joel play the whole third? Because now Drummond's in. I think Joel did play the whole third quarter. Paul George with the rock. Let's go. You got to get active. PG getting double teamed. Wings it out to Maxey. Spurs get right back. Tell you what, Spurs are really good with rotating. And Maxey with a nice drive and float brings it back down to 7. Castle drives and kicks. Barnes up top. Had it poked away by Maxey. Stays with San Antonio. Yeah, Joel played the entire third, so I don't know when he's going to really be able to come back in. Joel may not be able to come back in until there's like 5 or 6 minutes, which is not a recipe for success. By the way, the Spurs, like I said, they're just so in sync defensively, man. Castle drives, and he's fouled by Oubre. Castle might be one of the best young defenders in the game. He's so good on the defensive end. Crazy. Unknown says, I'm not impressed with your opinion at all. Which part of my opinion? Which part of my opinion? With them leaving wide open shooters from 3? Because that's not an opinion. That's a fact, brother. That's a fact. They've been doing it all season. So let me know what you don't agree with. Grimes looking like Caleb Martin tonight. Grimes has not played that well, man. And I had Jared McCain haters on Twitter today telling me that Grimes was playing so good this season. I don't understand it. Grimes does not show up every game. Maxey coming around a screen. He's going to drive, kick to Grimes. Grimes, Drummond, back to Grimes. Grimes drives mid-range. Yes, sir! He heard the stream, man. Grimes heard us talking about him. He said, I'll hit a shot. Always happens like that. Castle off the side of the backboard. Can't hit it. Here comes Tyrese Maxey now. Maxey only 9 points on the night, 3 of 10 from the field. Maxey drives, and he was fouled by De'Aaron Fox. Not URB. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, listen, man. It's all good. You know, we respect everybody's opinions, but they've been leaving dudes wide open all season. 700 people in the chat. Get us to 400 likes. Let's go. Spike the like button, man. Get us to 400. Maxey around his screen. Drives into the paint. Maxey turns, spins. Drummond just got barreled. Drummond got barreled by De'Aaron Fox. It's going to be a foul on the Spurs. Yo, do you guys think the Sixers can win this game? Be for real. I said this at halftime, but it feels like the Spurs have been in control of this game all game long. You know what I mean? It feels like they've been in control of this game for the entire game. Anybody else feel that way? Here's Kelly Oubre, 4 on the shot clock. Grimes has it. Let's go, Grimes. Got to shoot. 2, 1. Lays it up. Misses it at the rim. Point blank. Tried to get it through traffic. Fox in transition. Misses a 3. Spurs get the rebound. Champagny misses it again. They're trying to give you these opportunities, man. They're trying to give you these chances. Drummond just got grabbed by Fox. Maxey, you're wide open. Shoot. Kelly! Short. Maxey, what are you doing, brother? Shoot the ball. Why are we hesitating? Champagne wide open layup. Drummond, I don't even want to. I can't roast Andre Drummond tonight, man. It's not his fault that he's in this game. I guess Bona's done. Nurse said screw it, dem Bona, right? Grimes another 3. Doink. Ay, ay, ay. Another wide open layup. Hey, Drummond, there's a thing called defense, bro. You want to play some? Jeez, bro. Drummond just watched that guy go in for a layup. See, this is where I have issues with Andre Drummond. You guys know how I said in the pregame show that the Sixers are like a big wild card? How I said that they're so unpredictable. Like, guys can show up one night, then the next night you're like, who is this guy? Andre Drummond, if I had to pick one player that really epitomized what I'm talking about, Andre Drummond is the perfect example. Because this guy, Andre Drummond, can come out and grab 12 boards in like 5 minutes. And then other nights, he does what he's doing right now, where Stephon Castle is easily blowing by Quentin Grimes for a layup, and Drummond's under the rim, and he's just like, bro, jump! I know Drummond has skill. What are you doing, Andre? Like, what are you doing, bro? Jump. Contest the layup. How come nobody contests layups on this team? Don't even get me started with Quentin Grimes, bro. And then you got all the McCain haters, bro. They're like, oh, this team has all this depth off the bench at guard, bro. Quentin Grimes is great. And, Cameron Payne. Come on, man. All right, Sixers, it's now or never, man. It is now or never. You're down 11, 9 to play. Nurse, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to play Joel in like 2 minutes. Otherwise, we're cooked. Maxey to Drummond. Drummond for 3. Cornette, wide open alley-oop. Drummond, you got to sit, bro. You're done. Drummond, you're done. Sit Andre Drummond. Bring Bona in. I'm done. I'm done with Drummond tonight. Drummond's one of them guys, man, as he puts back a dunk as I'm talking about him. Drummond's one of them guys, you know, if he's going to have it within like 30 seconds of him getting in the game. Like, yes, there's Joel. Yes, bring Joel back in, please. We're going to have to play you 47 minutes tonight, Joel. Sorry. Here's Cornette again. Drummond, where are you, bro? Wide open 3, Harper, and it's good. All right, bro. We're chalked. Holy heck, bro. And Maxey, shoot the ball, man. Maxey around a screen, mid-range, pull up. Thank you. Thank you, Tyrese. Shoot it again, Tyrese. Here's Stephon Castle, guarded by Paul George. Honestly, forgot Paul George was even in the game. Hasn't shot the ball in like 2 quarters. Paul George going to wrap up Castle. 105-93. We got a jump ball coming up, 7.5 to play. Chat, what do you guys think, man? Can the Sixers come back here? Get Joel back in. Maybe they have a chance, which they just brought him back in now. It's 7:20 to go, or 7:30 to go, excuse me. I mean, Joel's got to be Superman for the rest of the game. This is a huge opportunity with the Hawks losing tonight. Paul George wins the tip, and Edgecombe has it up to Maxey. Maxey, let's go. Joel got to set a screen. Joel sets one. By the way, the Spurs are back to small ball. Small ball for the Spurs. Joel jumps into a foul. Keldon Johnson's like, what in the world did I just do? Joel's like, let me go back to the free throw line real quick, man. Definitely not a foul on Keldon Johnson by any means, but anyway. Joel at the free throw line, 7:23 to go. He's got two coming up here. First one is good for Joel Embiid. $20 more likes. Let's go. Hit the thumbs up button. Thank you all for being here and experiencing these games in real time with your boy. It's weird. The Sixers have had a really bad fourth quarter in this game. Usually the fourth is not that bad. They had a bad fourth quarter last game. This fourth quarter has been brutal so far. Both good at the line for Joel. 10-point game. 7:18 to play. Here is Johnson. Castle, wide open three. Carter Bryant, and drills it. Joel could not get out to the three-point line, and another wide open three for the Spurs. They were struggling mightily until this quarter. Now they're raining threes like it's their job. Maxey around a screen, floats it up, gets it to go, rolling downhill. So it is an 11-point game, still within reach. Sixers need a stop on the defensive end. Here is Dylan Harper, Champagnie, Castle, Ryan, and Johnson, the five for San Antonio. Castle, the step back two. Can't get it. Oubre, the rebound. Let's go. Let's go. Maxey with the rock now. Maxey going to drive. Kick to Joel. The pump fake. Joel driving against Castle all the way downhill. Misses the layup. EJ trying to save it, and he could not. And they're going to gall Joel Embiid, I believe, on a foul. So Joel missed the layup. I mean, I don't understand right now. Like, if I'm Nick Nurse right now, guys, I'm saying, Joel, get in the paint. The Spurs' tallest guy on the floor is like 6'6" right now. Get in the paint, bro. We're going to entry pass it to you. And if you get doubled, we're going to have a wide open shooter. Castle against Embiid floats it up. Paul George the rebound, 6 to play. Let's go. Get Joel in the paint. Maxey fouled off the dribble. Dude, you got to take advantage of this small ball Spurs lineup. Cornette has been out for a minute. You get Joel inside, and if he gets doubled, you got a wide open shooter. So Maxey going to inbound the ball. They're going to get it to Paul George. 15 on the shot clock. Maxey again. It's been all Maxey in this quarter, running the offense. Joel's in the dunker spot. Maxey's going to ISO. He turns, he spins, he steps through. Can't get it. VJ there to clean it up, though. And VJ brings it to single digits. It's 108-99. 5:40 to go. It's a 9-point game. You're telling me there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. Let's go, chat. Drop some fires, man. Let's go. You know what I don't understand, guys? And I know I've said this a couple times now, but like, let's just think about it logically. Let's think through it here, right? Fourth quarter. The San Antonio Spurs, who have Luke Cornett in foul trouble. And by the way, Stephon Castle was also in foul trouble. But the Spurs go to a small ball lineup for the entire fourth quarter. And the Sixers, who had Tyrese Maxey not touching the ball the entire night, go to Tyrese Maxey with a small ball lineup for the Spurs. The tallest guy on the floor is like 6'7" right now. Do you see how that's backwards? Why not post up Joel right now? Why not get Joel inside? I know he's probably gassed, right? But like, this is your chance to get easy buckets, get him to the free throw line, or get a shooter open. You know? Like, why do you now go to Maxey, running the entire offense through Tyrese Maxey, when the Spurs do not have a center on the floor? That's what I don't understand. I don't know. Bernard McCoy, $2 super chat. Thank you, man. Says defense not good enough when it counts. I agree. Defense is just not there. The defense has not been there. And, the second chance opportunities, the boxing out, just hasn't been good enough tonight, man. Hasn't been good enough tonight. But let me ask you guys this. Is it more of a Nick Nurse thing or is it a Joel Embiid thing? What do you guys think in terms of not getting him posting up inside? Who do you think it's on more? 5:35 to play. It is a 9-point game, 108-99. Oubre guarding Johnson. Spurs are still in a small ball lineup, by the way. Johnson, Bryant, Harper, Vassell, and Castle. So again, this is the Spurs go like 8-9 deep. They can play everybody. Fox isn't even on the floor right now. Johnson's the biggest player on the floor, and he is, how tall is he? 6'5". He's listed as, and Carter Bryant is, here's Johnson for 3, misses it. Bryant 6'6". Maxey on the fast break going all the way on the other end, swatted away. Holy crap. Jeez, bro. Oubre just gets beat off the dribble by Harper. That wasn't even close. Maxey working against Harper now. 11-point game, 4:48 to go. Not running anything for George. Now Embiid gets a post up, finally, gets double teamed, and then throws it away. Luckily, it's out of bounds. Going to stay with Philly. So Joel got doubled right there. There should be a wide open shooter on the perimeter. This is what they should have been running all quarter. I don't know why they've gone away from Paul George. Paul George had 11 in the first quarter. And, yeah, hasn't had any real clean touches since. Here's Paul George, just as I talk about him. He steps back, mid-range shot, no good. Maxey the board. Oubre's wide open. We need one. Can't get it. Gotta have that 3, man. Here's Harper, going to find Vassell. Drives the lane, kicks out to Fox. Oubre got pushed, and it's going to be an offensive foul on San Antonio. So 4:15 to play. 110-99. Shout out to all 730 in the chat. Thank y'all for being here, man. Much appreciated. I'm RB. We do this every single game. Pre-game, live game, and post-game. 4-hour shows every single game. Stream other games in the playoffs as well. Looks like we got a timeout on the floor. Do the Sixers have any shot? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, get us to 52.7. We're almost there, man. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Be back in a quick 30.
Meet my dad. National University supports all his ends with flexible online courses. He can be a student and catch bad guys on the internet and teach me how to hit a curveball and serve his country. He's an ander. National University, supporting all your ands.
All right, guys, what do we think, man? Do we have a shot? I'm going to lean towards the side of no. It's funny, I picked my final score was 117 to 108. We're kind of close to that. The reason I don't think the Sixers have a chance here is because they're not playing any defense per usual. And yeah, they can't get a big stop. It's really unfortunate too. Like I said, without Wemby on the floor, Fox isn't even on the floor right now. You got a chance right here. And I just feel like you're blowing it. But the Spurs, like I did say at halftime, I mean, they've won 27 out of 30 games. Like, they're really good. Sixers just turned it over. They're going to say it's out on the Spurs, but the Spurs want to review it. Kelly Oubre going to turn and spin, fade from the baseline, missed it again. Out of bounds on VJ Edgecombe. I'm sorry, man. You got to get Kelly out of here, bro. You got to get Kelly off the floor. Like, what? This game's giving me a headache, bro. Does Nick Nurse even coach this team? Again, I'm not trying to put all the blame on Nick Nurse. I promise I'm not. Because the players have to play better. Like, Kelly Oubre's got to make a three. Simple as that. But there are some team dynamics where the stars really like are the voice of the team. And I'm looking at this team, and again, I'm walking through a lot of these things with you guys and girls, right? Like, we're talking about it as it happens. And like, if we can make the adjustments, why can't they? I don't understand it, bro. This offense is not running properly right now. Maxey, Embiid drives the lane, goes up, reverse, and he is fouled. Joel Embiid back to the line for two. The defensive thing is just very puzzling, especially because Nick Nurse is supposed to be a defensive coach. You know what I see when I watch the Sixers team? I see a bunch of stars and talent, but it's like the puzzle pieces are not in the right place sometimes. You know what I mean? Joel Embiid going to knock down the first. I see the Sixers and I see a bunch of pieces that are there, but they're not being configured in the right way. It's like it's like you're missing the instruction manual, you know? It's like you got a bunch of nice car parts, but you're not actually assembling the car. Hopefully that makes sense. But like, I don't know. I feel like these things shouldn't be that hard. Now, maybe if again, I watch a lot of the NBA, right? Maybe if I watched more teams religiously, like every single game, maybe they're complaining about the same things. But for example, right? I'll give you a clear example with the San Antonio Spurs. The small ball lineup has been working in the fourth quarter. So what does Mitch Johnson do? He stays with the small ball lineup. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy. I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. Like, if the small ball lineup is working, why go back to Luke Cornett? He hasn't gone back to Luke Cornett because the small ball lineup is effective. It's the same thing I used to talk about with Doc Rivers, with Brett Brown. You know, it's like these guys read out of the textbook. Step 3, step 12, step 18. Go back to your starters with the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Bring one starter back in with 8 minutes to go. Like, nah, you got to really have a feel for the game. You know? But I think the frustrating part is we look at this team and like they have all this talent. They have a bunch of talent, and Nick Nurse is supposed to be a defensive coach. And this team has not figured it out defensively, man. So now Dominic Barlow comes back in the game. A little bit too late, I feel. Second free throw is missed by Joel. 3:25 to go here in the fourth quarter. De'Aaron Fox back in. Now Cornette is in. Here's Stephon Castle. Castle drives and kicks. Here's Keldon Johnson. 3 on the shot clock. Johnson turns and spins. Nowhere to go. Has to heave it up. Just short. Barlow the board. Sixers need a couple big shots here and a big stop. Paul George thinks 3. Drives and kicks. VJ, pump fake. VJ from the corner. Short. Paul George guarding Stephon Castle. Nice defense. Castle behind the back. Drives. Dumps it. Cornette. Embiid nowhere to be found. Wide open layup. Sixers down by 13 points. BJ to Joel. Joel up top. Here's Tyrese Maxey around a screen. Kicks to VJ Edgecombe. Edgecombe. Spinning. Kicks it all the way out to Paul George. 4 on the shot clock. Paul George drives the lane, goes up, misses it, and the Spurs get it back again. 2:10 to play. Castle, Fox on the break, goes up. Nice block by VJ in transition. 2 to play. PG from the corner. They had Embiid open, didn't find him. Maxey drives it all the way in and gets the bucket. Fox going to drive and kick. Here's a wide open 3 from Keldon Johnson, and he can't hit that one. Goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Spurs. Sixers might have to review it. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we feeling, man? 400 likes in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here, man. Yes, sir. Let's go. The yes sirs are for you guys, man. The yes sirs are for y'all because y'all are holding it down. I appreciate you so much for being here and suffering with me. Crazy, man. Cool, Jay. It's all good, man. We can let people let their frustrations out a little bit. A few times, you know what I mean? But keep it respectful in the chat, man. Keep it clean. No spamming, no spoiling. We're all frustrated. Sixers are going to win the challenge. They will get the ball back. Make sure y'all stick around for the post-game show. We'll break this down more in depth. Ball went out on Cornette. It's going to stay with the Sixers. They're down 11 with a minute to go. But listen, man, we do this every game. So if you guys enjoy this community and this coverage and watching ball with us, keep tuning in, man. Appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to the mods and the members. Y'all are amazing. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. Maxey drives the lane. Barlow turns it over. Maxey couldn't find him. 4-on-2. Here are the Spurs. They're going to hold. The Spurs are going to win 28 out of their last 31 games. That is insane. They are on a different level, bro. And they did it without Wemby in the second half. Fox a step back 3, no good. What did the Spurs shoot in the second half from 3? BJ all the way, misses it. Barlow picks it up. I've never felt as Joel gets plucked on a 3. Come on, man. Castle all the way. We're going to have a lot to say about Joel Embiid in this game, both good and bad. Spurs are shooting like 36% from 3 in this second half. They did 40 in the third quarter. Maxey missed a 3, and the Spurs are going to win. Woo. I got a lot to say about this game tonight, man, and I think some people may respect it, some people may not enjoy it, but nonetheless, a lot to say tonight about this game. This is going to be one of those games that not a lot of people agree with each other, but things must be said. Sixers score 17 in the fourth quarter. Just a terrible fourth quarter for the Sixers. And they blow a golden opportunity to the San Antonio Spurs. And they lose 115-102. By the way, Castle did get a triple-double. Got that 10 and 11th rebound. So, once again, Sixers, man. I got a lot to talk about in the postgame show. Anything else I want to say right now? I do want to say again, thank y'all for being here, man. This game was very unsettling. The Sixers were never down, I don't think, by more than 13, but it felt so far away, the lead. I got a lot to say in the postgame show. I think some people are going to disagree for sure, but tell it how I see it, and I'll leave it at that until we come back on the other side. But a blown opportunity for the 76ers. This was one where you could have struck. You could have capitalized. They left the door wide open. And yeah, they blew this one. But the Spurs are good. The Spurs are good, and they just don't let up. So, what was the biggest issue tonight? What was the biggest contributing factor to this loss? Looks like Michigan's up by 9 right now with 11 minutes left. Yeah, what was the biggest contributing factor to this loss tonight? I'm interested to hear everybody's thoughts. We will read out some of your comments in the postgame show. And we will be back. We still got a ton of people in here, so don't go anywhere. Stick around for a few minutes. We'll load everything up, and we will be back for the postgame live show. Sixers postgame live is coming up next. Shout out to the members, the mods, the community. 3 games left now in the regular season. The next will be on Thursday night against the Houston Rockets. And we will talk about it all. And we will highlight who is to blame tonight. And we'll talk about what this means for the next couple of games and the rest of the season. And I'm sure people will be overreacting, as they already are in the chat. But should we? We'll talk about all of it right here coming up on the other side. So, Sixers postgame live. Coming up next, Sixers Game Day Live presented by National University. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the 76ers postgame live show right here on Philly Take with RB. The Sixers go down in tough fashion in a game that coming in, we ultimately thought they would lose, right, against a team that's really good. But then, as the Sixers usually do, they rope us in. They give us some life. They give us some hope. They give us some optimism. And then you see the Atlanta Hawks go down. You see the Spurs get banged up a little bit. Castle's out for a bit. Wemby misses a stretch in the first half. And oh, by the way, coming into the second half, Wemby is not on the floor. He doesn't play. And you're thinking, man, this is your time to strike. And once again, a day late and $1 short. Sixers just couldn't come up and get it done. So why? Why was that the case? Well, we're going to talk about the few areas that I feel very much lacked today. Does it have long-term significance? You know, like, what does this mean for the team? Are the Spurs just too good and the Sixers are not in their league? Could they have actually won this game? We will break all of it down right here on Philly Take with RB. Make sure you like the show, subscribe to the channel, and share it everywhere. Check us out on all platforms. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you guys feel about this game? How do you feel in totality about this team? 4 games to go, now 3 games to go. They are 43 and 36 on the campaign. So I'm going to tell you my overarching thoughts, and then we'll try to break it down a little bit more by each segment. But ultimately, I will look at this game as a missed opportunity. The Sixers had a chance to capitalize. They were in it for most of the first half. You know, the lead was 5, 6, 7. Honestly, it felt like the lead was single digits most of the game. But for some reason, it also felt way too far away to catch up. Like the Spurs just felt like they were in cruise control and they could put their foot on the gas whenever they wanted. But you have no Wemby in the second half. The Hawks lose. This is a perfect chance to gain ground. And the Sixers didn't do it, in my opinion, for a couple reasons. Number one, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe did not show up. Maxey had 15 points, but 6 of 16 from the field. VJ 14 points, 6 of 15 from the field. Maxey was pretty much non-existent in the first half. Just a very weird Maxey game. But I think having Wemby's presence in the paint really does affect the mindset of a guard. Like, it's hard to get in there because you see this long outstretched arm, a tree branch, and you just feel like he's going to block anything. That is his gravity on the floor. In addition to the guard play, the Sixers continue to have the same defensive lapses throughout every single game. Joel was incredible on the offensive side, 34, 12 boards. He had 4 blocks, but also he missed a lot of box outs. He did not play a lot of defense, especially later in the game. Maybe he was just winded from having to carry the team offensively, but whether it was Joel or they brought Drummond in for a couple minute stretch and he watched 2 wide open layups, the Sixers are just not doing the little things well. You look at a team like the Spurs, who have now won, 28 out of 31 games? 28 out of 30? Why are they so good? Because the Spurs do all of the little things. The Spurs do all of the little things well. That is why they look like a potential championship team. And even when their leader, Victor Wembanyama, went out, they were not fazed at all. They played small ball for most of the fourth quarter, and it worked, so they kept going with it. Nick Nurse played Joel the entire third quarter. He brought Drummond in for a few minutes and completely collapsed any momentum that they were building. And also, I feel like the Sixers just got away from doing what worked early. Paul George had, I think, 11 in the first quarter. They go away from him for most of the game. All the Sixers are doing is quick ball screen actions. And it's funny, in the fourth quarter, when the Spurs go to small ball, that's when the Sixers finally decide to start running everything through Tyrese Maxey. Why would you not run the offense through Joel Embiid when the Spurs are in small ball. Because then, even if you hit him with a post-entry pass and he gets swarmed on a double team, you're going to have a wide-open three-point shooter. So it felt like the Sixers just did things backwards. They don't have as much creativity in their offense. VJ and PG just get these sporadic stretches throughout games. It doesn't seem like they have a balance when it comes to allocating the touches, and it just feels like they need to figure out that identity. Simple as that. So those were the main reasons I think they lost this game. But again, bringing it full circle, they had a huge opportunity to get this done, and the Spurs just, they just did enough. The Sixers shoot 30% from three in this game, and you have the Jared McCain haters who will still try to tell you that the Sixers have enough guard depth. They absolutely do not. They don't have that killer off the bench. They don't have it. I'm sorry, Quentin Grimes, but you're not that guy. You're not, man. So many opportunities in this game where Grimes passes up a wide open three, or VJ passes up a wide open three, or they bring Justin Edwards in for a few minutes, and now his mindset's all messed up because he went from playing 15, 20, 25 minutes a game. You remember that game he had against the Kings? He was starting to get in his groove. Then he gets sat for a couple games, and now he's all out of whack. So the Sixers have really trimmed down the rotation. Watford doesn't play. Walker doesn't play. Shoot, Bona didn't even play tonight. And they're going very top heavy with Joel, PG, and Maxey. And I think they're trying to stagger these guys, but you can't play Joel the entire third quarter, even though you had to score the ball, because then you play him the entire third and you have to bring Andre Drummond in. And Andre Drummond, as I said in the live show, is one of those players that from the first 2 seconds that he's in, whether he's going to impact the game at all. And Andre Drummond did not impact this game. He got barreled over on a screen. He watched 2 wide open layups. And to be quite honest with you, he just did not look like he cared. Some nights Drummond comes in and he drops 15 boards in 2 minutes. And some nights he does absolutely nothing. And this was one of those nights where he did nothing. In addition to that, the Spurs just did everything else with more intensity and more effort and more energy, whether it was Keldon Johnson or who else did they bring in? Carter Bryant, Luke Cornett. It's crazy. You look at the Spurs, and again, this is you can really tell when a team is coached well versus when they're just coached average. And I start to think about the Sixers, and I'm like, maybe it's just the stars that kind of call the shots here, because I don't see a lot of adjustments from Nick Nurse. I really don't. And I like Nick Nurse, and I think he can win with a really good roster. I think obviously in the league you have to have a good roster, but I look at the Spurs as a perfect example. You look at an undrafted player in Julian Champagnie, who, by the way, called out the 76ers yesterday. He was kind of joking, but kind of not. And he was like, yeah, by the way, shout out to Philly. You guys cut me, and it really opened up my career and motivated me. Julian Champagnie couldn't shoot that well tonight, but you know what he did? He had 9 rebounds. That's called impacting the game. Stephon Castle, 19, 10, and 13. De'Aaron Fox only had to play 27 minutes, 13 points. Devin Vassell only had 9 points tonight. Didn't go on a heater like he did last time these teams matched up a few months ago. But you know what Devin Vassell did? 4 boards, 4 dimes, a steal. Keldon Johnson, 13 and 9 off the bench with 2 steals and a block. Luke Cornett, 10 points off the bench. Dylan Harper, 17 off the bench. They go 8 or 9 deep. Their players are not overly talented, but it's the system in which they play. It is the system in which they have configured. Mitch Johnson has done a great job. And you know what the Spurs do really well? That is very apparent when you watch them play a game up close. Their team defense is ridiculous. Matter of fact, a couple months ago, when I said the Spurs could really contend with the Thunder, I don't know if I still believe that 100% because of how good the Thunder are, but if there is one team that I think can give the Thunder a run for their money, it is the Spurs. Did you see the way that they were rotating on defense in this game? I mean, yeah, they have the talent, right? Stephon Castle might be one of the best young defenders in the NBA. Keldon Johnson, that physicality. Devin Vassell is a lengthy wing. But did you see the way that they were, like, the Sixers would get double teamed at the top of the arc. They would go, quick pass inside, bounce it out, touch to the corner, and the Spurs are there. Like, I watched the Sixers, and they leave a shooter wide open from three, and, like, they'll give, like, a little half attempt at a closeout. The Spurs take 2 steps, and they're there. They know exactly what to do, when to do it. They play as a team, and that's why I think they're so fun to watch, because they could be down Wemby. They could be down their leader, but they still believe, and they still play hard, and they just do the little things that are necessary to win a basketball game. So that's what I noticed in this game. Now, Wemby was off to a remarkable start in this game. Wemby had 17, 5, and 3 blocks in 16 minutes. He had a couple and ones. There was a reverse dunk where he barely got up off the floor. You had Kelly Oubre behind him. He just kind of threw his hands up over his head backwards and slammed it down. There was a drop step where I think it was Maxey on him, and Wemby just did a drop step. He almost like glitched. It was like a video game. He just glitched to the rim and threw it down. And then there was another one where Wemby jumped from the free throw line, and he was going so fast and so far that his head almost hit the rim, and he had to like cock back his arm when he caught the ball to throw it down. He's just ridiculous. He's an alien. He's not human. But Victor Wembanyama also buys into the little things. Now, I know people may not agree with this, but I think Joel Embiid sometimes does not buy into the little things. Joel played remarkable on the offensive side tonight, and the fact that he did it after pretty much, I guess, hurting his ankle in the first couple minutes. Now, my biggest hope here is that Joel does not pop up on the injury report in a couple days and they're like, yeah, he's got a sprained ankle, because that will be absolutely disastrous. This team cannot survive without Joel Embiid. But, Joel Embiid, as great as he was offensively tonight, he comes out in the first 4 or 5 minutes. He's struggling. He's shooting from beyond the arc again, not getting down low against Wemby, not trying to like space him out to the perimeter. And then Joel pretty much falls down. Like, he contested a Wemby layup, and he came down and his leg kind of skidded against the floor, and you could see him grabbing his ankle. He got up, he was fine for a couple minutes, and then he goes limping off. And we're thinking, uh-oh, here we go. But it was weird. He didn't go back to the locker room. He just went to the bench. And then he comes back in, and he goes on a massive, massive tear. Like, Joel Embiid was on a ridiculous tear in the first half. I don't even know how many he had in the second quarter. Matter of fact, let me see right here. Joel in the second quarter had 16 points. Like, he was absolutely dealing. And a big reason for that was because Wemby ended up getting hurt. First, Castle got hurt. He went off for like 4 minutes. He came back fine. But Wemby missed like 7 or 8 minutes in the second. Wemby took a hit from Paul George on it looked like a loose ball at half court. Paul George kind of hit him in the face. And then a minute later, Wemby went driving to the rim, and Joel kind of like shifted his body in front of him. I don't think he really hit him that much, but Wemby came up, grimacing, grabbing, I guess, his rib, shoulder, whatever it was. They said he had a rib contusion. So then Wemby goes off, and Joel's like, yeah, I'm just going to start cooking. I feel like he should have had that mentality from the beginning. But anyway, Joel was great offensively. Like, he got in his groove. Without Joel Embiid, the Sixers would have lost this game by 40, like they did last time against the Spurs. But with all of that being said, Joel has to buy into the little things. And if he can't do it because he doesn't have enough energy, then the Sixers need to stop using him so much offensively. Like, you can't have Joel be 85% of your offense if that means he's not going to defend or rebound, And he did have 4 blocks. He had some really good defensive plays. But there was a lot where Joel would just watch Stephon Castle or De'Aaron Fox blow by his guard, and go right in for an easy layup, and Joel would just be standing there. Or there was a putback where Cornette would tap it in when Wemby went out, and Joel would just be sitting at the elbow watching it. So that's what I'm talking about with the little things as it relates to Joel. Now, Tyrese Maxey was just really, really bad tonight. I don't know where Maxey's head was. I think part of it could be, the coach getting these guys on the same page, but also part of it was I think Maxey just got completely phased out early on by Wemby. I think any guard under the height of 6'4" is terrified when Wemby's in the paint because, as a normal center who's under the rim that can't get to your shot, 10 feet away, Wemby can. So I think Maxey just kind of got afraid of driving into the rim. I think we saw the same thing from VJ Edgecombe. There was a couple mid-range pull-ups, but they just were not comfortable. And I think Maxey had 4 shot attempts at halftime. He had 0 points. It was a really bad Maxey game. His decisiveness was not there. They were not getting him downhill. But again, the part that comes back to actual coaching is you would think, okay, the Spurs have all this talent on the defensive end. They're the 3rd ranked team in terms of defensive rating. By the way, they're top 5 in offense and defense. You would think, okay, let me find a way to get Tyrese Maxey downhill in space. But I feel like the Sixers do not do that. And I feel like they just rely on the inherent ability of these stars to create offense. And that's what I really feel when I watch this team. I think it's just, I made an analogy on the live game show. I said, it's kind of like having all the puzzle pieces, but you don't know where to put them. It's like having all the shiny car parts, but you don't know how to assemble the car. You can't drive it, And I just think I see it more often than not. A couple games ago, obviously, like I said, I wasn't doing the show, but the Sixers kind of gave up in that game. I don't think they gave up tonight. I just think that they don't put everything that they can and use it to their advantage, if that makes sense. They don't do the little things well. They don't make it easier for themselves. They rely on Joel to play hero ball, or they rely on, one quick ball screen. The Spurs are too good defensively. Their guards are athletic. They are switchable. They are fast. They do all these things, and they can stifle your team. And if you don't have any creativity, then there's really nothing to do because you can't beat them. They're just better than you. There was a lot of fouls in this game. There was opportunities, I thought, for the Sixers to get, to the free throw line. They were in the bonus a lot. And I just felt like the Sixers, what was it? Third quarter, they had 5 minutes in the bonus, and second quarter, they had a few minutes in the bonus. And I just didn't like, again, the way that the Sixers approached this game, I guess is the best way to put it. The other thing, again, I'll say, people will swear to, especially the McCain haters, that the Sixers have enough depth off of the bench, and they definitely don't. Now, Kelly Oubre Jr. was in the starting 5 tonight. This is the second straight game where Barlow is coming off the bench. He had 8 boards in 16 minutes. Again, Barlow's minutes are kind of just sporadic. But I thought that Justin Edwards could have got a little more burn, 5 minutes. Grimes played 23 minutes, 5 points. People still think that Grimes is having a good season. I can't get there. I don't understand why people think that about Grimes. I mean, no offense to him. He just, he was getting beat off the dribble. There was a couple wide open threes he passed up. And I just don't think the Sixers have enough guard depth off of the bench. And when Kelly Oubre is playing the way he did tonight, yeah, he had 8 boards, but it was one of those Kelly nights where he gets on your nerves. But role players are going to have that. They are. But when Wemby goes out in this game, the overarching thing is when Wemby goes out, you go 30-30 in the third quarter, and then you only put up 17 in the fourth. That just can't happen. It just can't happen. And the Sixers went flat. They never got Maxey going. Joel had to be Superman to try to win this game, and he just couldn't be it. And, yeah, I just feel like the Sixers blew a huge opportunity. This was a golden opportunity for the 76ers to gain ground in the Eastern Conference now with 3 games to go. And overall, what does it mean? Well, it means that this is probably going to solidify the Sixers as either the 6, 7, 8, or 9 seed. And pretty much the 76ers now, because they lost this game, fall back to the 7 seed. They're now tied with Charlotte and Orlando, who won tonight. Now, they do hold the tiebreakers over Charlotte and Orlando. But, yeah, they're probably either going to get the 6 or 7 seed. The Raptors move back up. They're up by half a game. There's 3 games left, so there's definitely an opportunity for the Sixers to get back in the 6th seed. But, it's all dependent on them and the Raptors because those 2 teams hold the tiebreakers. But, you got to handle your business first. And then on top of that, even if you get in the play-in, all right, like you're going to have to play a really good team. So if you get the 6th seed, you're going to play the Knicks. If you get the 7th seed and you make it through the play-in, you'll play the Celtics, or you'll end up playing the Detroit Pistons. Like, what really sucks about it is that if you were able to get that 5 seed, you had a good chance of playing the Cavaliers. And I thought that would be a pretty good matchup for the 76ers, but it does not seem like that is going to be possible now. So it's probably either going to be the New York Knicks or maybe the Boston Celtics, and I don't think those are really good matchups for the 76ers. But unfortunately, that is what they're dealing with, and that is where they are at. And, yeah, man, you just got to take it one game at a time. But I just look at this team overall. I call them a wild card, and I say that they have the opportunity to win games and to compete with these good teams. But then again, sometimes they just show us in these big time moments. Like this was really, in my opinion, this second half was their opportunity to make it happen. And they just couldn't get it done. So again, we can take it all the way back to the trade deadline. They didn't improve the team. They didn't upgrade. They didn't add more. And you just see a lot of deficits with this team, a lot of gaps that should be filled. And honestly, man, they're not. They're not. So it is frustrating. It is frustrating. Chat, give me your thoughts, man. How do you guys feel about this game? I'm peeking over here. We got the national championship on. Shout out to my guy, Yaxel, man. Michigan is up by 9 with 1:20 to go. So if Michigan can hold on here, they'll be the national champs. Seems like it's been a pretty good game. But, yeah, how do you guys feel about the 76ers, man? How do you feel with 3 games remaining? What seed will they finish off in? Who will they match up against? Where will this team finish? Can they even win a playoff series? Can they even win the play-in? Can they win the play-in? And yeah, man, like the defense is just not good. It just hasn't been that good all year. And it's crazy because Nick Nurse is a defensive coach. And I feel like that is supposed to be his specialty. That's supposed to be like his chef's kiss. You know what I mean? And Nick Nurse watches this team get torched on defense or they leave shooters open. I mean, literally on the live show, I'm literally calling it as it happens. I'm like, yeah, shooter wide open at the top. Then he gets the ball, bang, wide open 3. The Spurs were able to just knock it down anytime they needed it. Anytime they needed it, they got it. So, yeah, it's coming down to the nitty gritty. 19 out of the 20 seeds have not been decided yet. And, yeah, I mean, it's either probably going to be the 6 or the 7 seed or maybe the 8. That's kind of how I look at it here with 3 games to go. And we have to hope the Sixers can win the final 3 against the Rockets, Pacers, and the Bucks. We're going to take a look at the other teams' schedules as well. I'm just keeping my eye over here on the national championship that has a minute left. But But how do you guys feel about this team? Busy Bee says, we do not know what team we're going to get night in and night out. That's a great way to put it. Like, they're just unpredictable. This team does not have the identity. We don't know which version of the team we're going to get. Are they going to be fired up? Are they going to be motivated? Are they going to do the little things? You know, like, these are the things that we wonder. Reek says, we will not be in the play-in. Relax. How can you say we're not going to be in the play-in when they're literally in the play-in right now? They are literally in the play-in right now. So that's a wild take, man. Let's see what happens over here on this national championship, and we'll keep reading the comments, and we will shout out some of the people in the chat. Let's see. If he is a defensive coach, he needs to go to school for defense. He is a defensive coach, and that was the Raptors' specialty. And, you know, I don't understand where some of those defensive philosophies are. I think you got to match the personnel to the scheme. And I feel like sometimes the Sixers try to run this Raptors defense from 2018. It's just not going to work. You know, you can't swarm the ball when your guys are slow. You can't swarm the ball when everybody's slow. Giannis wants to come back badly too, so that is not an easy game. Yeah, apparently Giannis wants to play the last game. I don't know if they're going to let him. There's a bunch of stuff going on with Giannis and the Bucks, and you know there's been a whole situation going on there. But he wants to play with his brothers apparently, so who knows? We'll see, I guess. Sorry, I'm just watching this national championship. It's getting crazy here at the end. What do you guys think, man? The team is a big dice roll. That's a good way to put it, Mr. Scum. Yeah, I mean, who knows what you're going to get out of this team on a night-to-night basis. Callie says first round exits per usual. Mr. Scum says 6 seed possible playoff run, but I don't know because the team is a giant question mark. Big Knicks fan love when the Sixers lose. Well, first off, we don't care. Second off, the fact that you're in here is hilarious. And thank you for beating the Hawks. But the Sixers could not capitalize. I would still rather take the Knicks than the Celtics in a playoff series, to be honest. But yeah, Knicks fans are delusional too. And they're not going anywhere in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. Mr. Scum says we can win one series. I don't know. It's going to be hard. It depends what version of the Sixers that we get. Like I said, I feel like the Sixers have a bunch of talent. I feel like they have a bunch of guys that can play, but do they have the niche role players? I mean, a lot of people made noise about Trendon Watford. A lot of people made noise about Jabari Walker and Dominic Barlow and all these guys and Quentin Grimes, but you know, they're not really showing up right now. Wow, Michigan just turned it over again, I think. Who else we got up in here, man? Dom says none of us is wasting our time doing it. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what happens with UConn here. 7-point game with 45 seconds left. I said you are missing the playoffs, RB. The last of the East in the playoffs have a very tough schedule. What do you mean missing the playoffs? Missing the, like, getting in the play-in is what you're saying? Like not getting the 6th seed? That's a possibility. I don't think the play-in would be a gimme either, based on the teams that are in there, you know? I don't think it's an automatic. Wow, UConn just hit another 3 with 37 seconds. Unbelievable shot, man. Holy smokes. This UConn team doesn't die, man. They really don't. I love college hoops because this is really where the this is where coaching matters, you know? This is where coaching matters. But anyway, we will get back to it on the other side. We'll see what happens in this game. But I want to know from you, what seed do you think the 76ers are going to finish in? What seed do you think the Sixers are going to finish in? Let me know your thoughts in the chat, and I'll give you my final prediction as well, and we'll look at some of the other teams' schedules and all that. We'll talk about this game. So give me your thoughts. Where do you think they are going to finish? Looks like we got a review, but his foot was not on the line. I'm just trying to see what happens with this game, man. This is a wild game. Crazy, crazy game. My overall prediction, man, I think I got to see the Raptors. Let's see the Raptors schedule here on the last couple games. Let's see. Hold on, let's see what happens in this game. 4-point game, and we got a foul. All right. Yeah, so the Raptors' final schedule is Miami, New York Knicks, and Brooklyn Nets. So, yeah, I mean, the Heat really need these games as well. I could see the Raptors going like 2-2 in the Final Four. I could see them going 2-2. So, yeah, I could see the Sixers definitely staying in the 6th seed. Sixers got the Bucks, Pacers, and the Rockets. Yeah. So I could see either the Raptors and Sixers being tied record-wise, or the Sixers being one win over the Raptors. So I could see the Sixers staying in the 6th seed. I guess that'll be my final prediction based on this schedule. But then again, you also have the Charlotte Hornets that are in the mix. You have the Orlando Magic. Everybody's really close. So the Sixers need to take care of business. I'm going to assume the Sixers win 2 out of the final 3. And I think they can probably win by 1 win. Wow, Michigan missed them free throws. UConn, 3-ball. No good. Let's see. Raptors usually beat the Heat, I think. Lost to Rockets, win versus Pacers and Bucks. Yeah, I think the Sixers can win 2 out of the final 3. And I think the Raptors may lose a couple, which would tie them at the end. So I think the Sixers probably end up as the 6th seed, which means they probably play the Knicks in the first round. Let's see what happens over here in this game. By the way, shout out to everybody in here, man. 180 people still in here. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all for being in here. What a wild game. Dom says, I would take Edwards over Grimes right now. You know what? I wouldn't even be opposed to that. I really wouldn't. Like I said, I think you need the players, and I don't think the roster was upgraded at the deadline. Like I said, you have... I mean, the Sixers ignored Joel Embiid. Simple as that. You did not upgrade. You did not add at the trade deadline. And you could have. You could have gotten a piece or two. So, to be honest, man, Should we really be surprised? The answer is probably no. The answer is probably no. But on top of that, it's like you also have to coach these guys the right way. You got to make the right substitutions, the right decisions. And when it comes down to it in crunch time, you have to be able to execute. And, you see why the Spurs win so many games, because they execute. Even when their guy went out, they were able to get it done. And, they've won 28 out of their last 31 games for a reason, Well, looks like Michigan might end up wrapping this up here, which would be crazy. I'm happy for my guy, man, if he can get this done. 13 seconds to go. Let's see. Mr. Scum says, done nothing to upgrade. This is what you get. That's true. That's true, man. We kind of predicted it at the trade deadline. We kind of predicted it. Yeah, Michigan's up by 6 now with 13 seconds to go. This should be it. UConn's going to lose their first national championship game. 6-1. That's going to do it, man. Wow. That's going to do it. Shout out to Michigan, man. Michigan wins it, man. 69-63. Shout out to my guy, man. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Wow, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Michigan really dominated the tourney. UConn gave them a run for their money, man. UConn gave them a run for their money. UConn gave them a run, bro. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Shout out to my guy, man. Shout out to my guy. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my thoughts on something here in a few minutes. Yeah, I think the Sixers are going to end up as the 6th seed. But I could see the 7, I could see the 8. Definitely don't want to see the Hornets in the play-in, I'll tell you that. All right. I want to give you my quick instant reaction to this and a takeaway as well, and then we'll wrap this one up. And the Sixers will be back on Thursday night against the Houston Rockets. We'll have a video out tomorrow. We'll have more stuff on the way. Make sure you follow us on all social platforms. But before I do that, can't forget, got to give a shout out to our great partners of the show over at Prize Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Prize Picks. If you are ready for the playoffs that are heating up, and even though the March Madness just ended, the tournament hoops were electric. All of it was high-flying hoops action on Prize Picks. There's no better way to cash in if you're right than with America's #1 sports picks app. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you're playing on Prize Picks with their brand new team picks markets. You can pick game winners, spreads, and totals on top of the player picks you already know. Cash in if you're right during all the clutch buckets, slam dunks, and Cinderellas this spring. With team picks on Prize Picks, team picks will make the watching experience so much more enjoyable for you because now you can root for your team and you can cash in if you make the right picks. For example, you can pick on the Sixers, or on a night like tonight, you knew the Spurs were probably going to get the W. You can go with the Spurs. And what's really cool is you can even pick who's going to win the entire league. If you think the Spurs can maybe upset the OKC Thunder in the playoffs, the MVP awards, other awards as well, Rookie of the Year. It's another way to pick the sports that you love, all on Prize Picks. Team picks are available in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and more. So, download the Prize Picks app today. Pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoff push gets closer. Get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. Once again, that's code CLNS. Get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to Prize Picks. Who are we picking, ladies and gentlemen? Who are we picking? By the way, who are we picking for player of the game? I didn't even award a player of the game. If Joel had actually led the team to win and the Sixers somehow got it done, I mean, Joel would have been the clear choice, 34-12. But for the San Antonio Spurs, no Wemby. All right, Stephon Castle got hurt, but he comes back. He plays 31 minutes, 19, 10 boards, 13 assists, and 2 steals. A triple-double for Stephon Castle battling through injury. Yeah, I think Stephon Castle deserves the player of the game tonight. He played really well. Great on-ball defense. Kept Maxey out of it for a lot of the game. Castle's a heck of a player. He's a really good player. I know his UConn team just lost, but he has a very, very, very bright future in the NBA, and he does it on both sides, which I really appreciate. So, Stephon Castle gets the player of the game award tonight. But speaking of another college basketball player, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about it for, a year and a half now on this show. And Michigan was just able to get it done. Michigan Wolverines win the NCAA tournament, and they had one of the most dominant stretches ever. And their best player on the roster was Yaxel Lendeborg, 23 years old, the South Jersey native, repping Pennsauken. The 76ers should draft Yaxel. I'm sorry. I know it's right off the cup and it's very quick and it just happened. We have a lot of time to talk about draft stuff, but just fresh off the tournament being over and Michigan being crowned the champions, the Sixers should draft Yaxel. Now, I know I'm a little bit biased because I've hooped with him before and he's South Jersey native and, shout out to him. But on top of that, this dude does everything that you could ask for. Last year, he was in the draft combine. He didn't have that consistent three ball. He came back. He worked on his shot. I think he was around 38, 39% this year. He dominated the entire tournament. He rebounds. He defends multiple positions. He can dribble drive. He can knock down the spot up three. And although he's 23, which I do think will make teams hesitate, right? He might fall a little bit in the first round. His tournament was so good that his stock's going up. And he also didn't play a lot of high school basketball. He went to a JUCO. He transferred twice. He found himself at Michigan and became one of the most rising players in this draft class. So in my opinion, even though he's only 23 years old, he's getting better and better. And I don't think that NBA teams are going to value him as like a typical 23-year-old prospect. I think they look at him and say, we could plug this guy in immediately to the equation and he can make an impact. And I look at the Sixers, especially at that 4, and he might be the perfect fit. 6'9", probably more comfortable as a 4, can be that 3 if you need him to be, can be, I guess, kind of a wing, but he just brings a lot to the table. And I know, again, we're far out from the draft and all that talk, but Sixers should do it. Yeah, I'm biased. I know. But bring him to the Sixers. Let's get him on the show. And shout out to him for being a national champion. His story to becoming a national champion is wild. You gotta check it out. If you haven't read his story, definitely read it. Crazy story. It just goes to show, never give up on what you're trying to do. Keep battling, keep fighting. And you get crowned a freaking champion, man. It's crazy. And, respect to him. I know he probably didn't have a good stat line. I don't have the stats in front of me, but he played through an injury in the entire game. He had an MCL sprain and an ankle sprain. and he was probably hurting the entire game. And I did see the interview at the end of the first half. He came out and said, yeah, I'm playing soft. I'm not feeling well, but I got to be better. So I like that. I like that accountability. Definitely a bit of a character, but shoot, why not? Everybody's all excited about this first round pick in the 20s. If he ends up falling there, draft him. Bring him to Philadelphia. Why not? Why not? So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Happy for him. And yeah. Shout out to Yaks and shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, man. Shout out to them. Crazy. All right. Anything else we got tonight? Let's see. The Magic beat the Pistons. Like I said, the Hawks lost, but the Sixers blew the opportunity. And yeah, Sixers go down to the San Antonio Spurs. The Nuggets are in a battle with the Blazers. And yeah, Cavs beat the Grizzlies. So that is where we are at, ladies and gentlemen. 76ers go down to the San Antonio Spurs on a Monday night, first game of a 4-game week to end off the regular season. These next couple of games will be monumental for the Sixers, the playoff watch, the playoff race, and ultimately tonight was a big missed opportunity, especially without having Wemby in the game in the second half. But you got to bounce back. You got to learn from it. You got to move on and figure it out. And we'll see if the 76ers can end up doing that. Once again, shout out to the members, the mods, everybody in this great community for sticking in here, for hanging it out, and for just being a part of this show. Sixers go down 115-102. They fall to 43-36 on the campaign. Hope campaign gets better soon. 3 games left, man. Where will they end up? Guess it'll make for a very cool storyline. See how it plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Monday. And I will catch you on the next one, as always. Sixers go down. Good night, everybody. Peace.